What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of the Kaotikast. This one is going to be all about Lolcows, and I came up with the idea for this topic because we do already have some basic familiarity with Lolcows, since we have briefly gone over people like Darkside Phil and Christian. But I figured that maybe we could have like a dedicated episode to it, and I guess you could sort of say this is another semi-filler episode until we get to the Halloween or the horror podcast, which I'm assuming is probably going to be the next one, and then we do the Halloween podcast.
It depends on when we do it.
Of course, with me as always, I have Levy the Amish Man.
Yeah. So, I think we should bring up another point that the podcast changed.
You mean like
how the layout is?
Yeah, so
like,
of course,
changed.
as you know, the layout has pretty much been the same since I started, but I decided to, Levy thought it would be a good idea to basically add sort of a, something kind of like, I guess you would say, like a to-do list or a shopping list or something on the side.
I would think more of it like a list, like the topic list.
Topic list, yeah. So I figured I would just add a topic list. Like, the layout would pretty much be the same as it always has been, but I'm going to add a topic list to the side, so that way people will know, I guess, to have a better idea of whatever topic we're currently talking about.
Pretty much. And it's like a menu. We're going to have starters and appetizers at the beginning, then we get to the main fucking course.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I don't know, that's like the best way I could describe it. I was at work, I was like, I should just treat this like a menu.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea. It's, it'll at least make everything look a little bit more organized.
A little more organized. You'll have space to do whatever you want in there. Probably throw a cat in the middle of the fucking screen. Who cares?
Well, I try not to make the layout look too busy.
Yeah. So, I think we should talk about one thing, because you showed me a video a while ago about how a certain movie lost attention and how that's a bad thing.
What movie are we talking about?
The cheese pizza movie.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, because you showed it to me, and I'm like, you know what? That is a fair point, because that movie it came out last month. Yeah. And it garnered massive backlash.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just afraid because it's I feel like it's sort of out of the news cycle now, and not a lot of people are really talking about it as much as they were when it was first a thing. Now it's just kind of like, I feel like they're trying to quietly like bury the issue, I guess, because Netflix now is just like, hey guys, look at all the stuff we have for Halloween. Don't you want to come back to Netflix and watch all our horror shows and our horror movies and all, and basically trying to sweep it under the rug, essentially. And and this is the thing I sometimes just hate about people. Like, it's so, like, people, like, the term I think is memory hole. Like, people will just, like, completely forget about something that they were upset about, like, not too long ago, and be like, if somebody, like, puts something nice and shiny in front of their face, they'll be like, oh, look at the nice and shiny thing. Let me ignore all the past transgressions this person has done and just focus on the nice and shiny thing. And, now I'm going to come back and, throw my money at this person because he gave me a nice and shiny thing or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's like, hey, look at all this new stuff we have. Please come back. Please resubscribe to Netflix. Please give us, give your money to us again. And it's just like, that's, yeah.
Yeah, apparently Adam Sandler made another movie on Netflix called Hubie Halloween. Or Hubie. I don't know how the fuck.
I know they had Uncut Gems on there.
That's the one movie I have not seen, but I heard so many good things about. That and Dolomite Is My Name. Those are the only two movies that you have actors that came out with had a really shitty record, and then they come out with gems like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's some stuff on Netflix that they came out with recently, like The Haunting of Blind Manor, that I wanted to see because it's apparently kind of like a follow-up to Haunting of Hill House. But
well, not anymore.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, but now it's just like, as much as I want to see it, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to give him my money because they still have that fucking movie on there, and apparently they're going to die on this hill, and I hate to say it, but it feels like they can do it because they have all this fucking money, and because the CEO, of course, as we're going to talk about, has come out and has decided to defend this movie even more. So I mean, but like I was saying, like, yeah, there are movies on there that I want to see, but hey, that's what torrents are for. So, or any other means you have of watching that. It doesn't always have to be torrents. I will say, like, if they have it on Blu-ray, I would at least get it on Blu-ray to support it, and just because I want to have it on Blu-ray, so I don't have to fucking watch it on Pedoflix.
Yeah, the funny thing is, we're going to mention the CEO because, funny enough, Cuties, like, Netflix was indicted in Texas for showing off a film with cheese pizza in it.
Yeah, I think it was like Ted Cruz that came after them for that shit. Like, I
don't think it was Ted Cruz. Hold on, I'm gonna look. I'll do your research. Let's see, because apparently in Texas they indicted it, or I think it was like this legislature in Texas, they indicted it for cheese pizza, and then one of the CEOs comes out and says, "Cuties is just a misunderstood film."
I think I don't know what about that I was really misunderstanding. I mean, it seemed pretty clear.
Okay, here we go. Netflix is charged in Texas with promoting lewdness in Cuties. It is in Tyler County.
Yeah. Now, if only we could get pretty much the whole country to fucking come after this fucking movie or something. I think it was some other people in the Senate too that were trying to come after the Netflix for this, because I happen to remember, I think Tulsi Gabbard also was like calling it out. Yeah, so I know there's some other politicians that don't like it.
Ted Sarandos cult, like, he was the one that defended the fucking movie.
Yeah, they just keep doubling down on it. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I don't get why they're willing to just commit suicide essentially for this this guy.
Yeah, look at that face and tell me that he says that he touches them at night and he's okay with it.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, like, if you're going to bat for a movie like this, dude, it's like, I gotta look at you a little bit sideways. It's like, why though?
Yeah. A lot of people went after this movie. Josh Hawley of Missouri, Mike Lee of Utah. These are senators, by the way. And Nancy Pelosi's daughter went after the fucking film.
That's shocking, actually.
And the president's son, one of his sons.
I did know that. Yeah. Was it Don or Don whatever the fuck?
Don Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what the left. Apparently, he said that the left is justifying it.
He's not wrong though. Like, I hate to play the fucking like us versus them game, but who are the types of people you see defending this shit? Like, come on. I'm not saying okay. I need to clarify. I'm not saying everybody who's of that political affiliate. I'm saying like I'm saying the super far extreme, left people who just want to do everything to own the conservatives, basically, or whatever, however the hell they see it. It's like, well, we got to defend this movie to own the right wingers or whatever the fuck.
We gotta own the people. We gotta own Hulu. Okay, here's what Ted Sarandos said about the film. Frankly, I am surprised there hasn't been more discussion about the First Amendment implications of this film. Bullshit. That movie lost all the First Amendment rights with this.
Yeah, that's not really. I mean, yeah, if you're exploiting children, any of that kind of stuff just goes out the window.
Yeah, like, okay, you know what? It would have been okay if they didn't make it with sexual exploitation of children.
Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't get people who are a little bit older, or people who are older who could either like, I mean, just not even have it be about children, just have it be about like young, like teenagers or something. Get adults who could pass for teenagers, or if you're gonna have it be about children, I have a better idea. Don't even have scenes that are like that. You know, like, you can still have your story about how it's bad to, you know, exploit children, but you don't have to go that far, you know, to make your point. We get it.
Yeah,
like, at a certain point, it just feels like it's being done for shock value, which I think it essentially was.
Yeah. He continues shitting his own bed. It's a film I would argue is very misunderstood with some audiences, uniquely in the United States. It's the director's story, and the film has obviously played very well at Sundance without any of this kind of controversy, and played in theaters throughout Europe without any of this controversy. I think it is a little surprising that in 2020 in America we're having a discussion about censoring storytelling. No,
I find that statement incredibly ironic, considering Netflix wants to censor things they don't like too.
Exactly.
Companies like Netflix and Disney want to go and censor older movies because they have a little bit of nudity or they have stuff in there they don't want people to see. Yet at the same time, exploiting children is totally fine. Also, I would like to point out that the person who to be fair, it was years ago, but I think the person who was apparently that owner of Sundance was arrested for cheese pizza or something like that. Yeah, you could look it up.
You said the founder?
I think it was the founder. It was somebody who was in charge of it.
Sterling Van Wagenen?
I think so.
No. It's not.
There should be a story about it.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not cheese pizza. It was diddling kids.
Well, that's even fucking worse.
Yeah, it's like, okay. No, actually, no. It's not worse. It's the same thing. You go to prison, you die.
Oh, good. I hope. I hope he got shanked, but I'm pretty sure he is probably still alive. Unfortunately.
You know. They want to talk about censoring storytelling, and then they want to say that, oh, it's a very misunderstood film and all that. No. It's like Superbad. When Superbad came out, it's a funny movie. It was a good coming-of-age story.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of coming-of-age stories. There's even coming-of-age stories, and people have pointed out, too, there have been coming-of-age stories in the past that have dealt with similar subject matter that handled it in a much more subtle way, and maturely didn't have to exploit fucking children in order to make their point.
You know, I'm gonna pull a little conspiracy theory of how this started. Big Mouth, the Big Mouth conspiracy.
Yeah, people did say Big Mouth was a pretty weird show. I never watched it, but
I had the misfortune of watching the first fucking season.
Oof.
It is fucking terrible. It is. I get what the guys were doing. They were trying to say, hey, this is what puberty looked like for us, or how it felt like. But in so many ways, they did it wrong. They did it for the sake of comedy. And it's bad. Drawing naked children, talking about vaginas. The only thing I will say that they did good was like, hey, it's okay to be gay. It's okay to be a certain way. Okay, fine. Your message is received. But the way that you're doing it is fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the show does delve into some pretty uncomfortable subject matter, especially since it involves children.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I know people will argue, well, South Park does stuff like that too, but you know.
But South Park has subtlety in a way. And then what is it? Because Netflix saw how popular Big Mouth was, they decided to expand further. They brought in cuties. And they're like, oh, this film did really good at Sundance. Let's bring this in so the whole America, the whole world can experience this. And it got to the point now where there's no longer free trials of Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah, they got rid of it. My guess is that because of cuties, most people were going on there, watching cuties, making their reviews, giving Netflix more money in ad revenue, which every fucking click that they watched cuties on, and then dropped it. So you just get people that go and just do this shit. You just gave them free money.
Yeah, I mean, I would also argue that Netflix has been doing not anything like this in particular, but they've been having these fucking more politically correct or, you know, woke, I would say, shows on there for a while now. And they've also been hiking up their subscription price too. So there's just like, it's really just been like, my frustration with fucking Netflix has just been kind of building ever since I've been subscribed to them, just because of their fucking subscription prices going up, and also just the kind of shows they have on there, at least some of their original shows. Like, even the shows you like, they start fucking having, I mean, not all of the shows, but then there are some shows where they start inserting this bullshit, this fucking PC shit in there. And it's sometimes it's subtle, and sometimes it's in your face. And I would say that this is something that's been like, you know, kind of happening for a while, and this is sort of like the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess you would say. Like, where it's just like they've been doing this stupid shit for a while now, and this is just kind of like the ultimate kind of well, I don't know what you can say, like the pretty much like the last straw, I suppose, with a lot of people when it comes to Netflix doing stupid shit.
Yep. And, okay, I actually looked it up. Apparently the reason why it wasn't because of cuties, if it was, I would have laughed so fucking hard. But apparently they're going to try to market Netflix in a different way. They're going to try to attract new and potential subscribers, posting some educational content on YouTube for free and other forms of content sampling. So essentially they're going to be like Adult Swim and just post clips of said show and say, hey, go watch it. Go buy our shit.
Didn't they? I thought they already did stuff like that where they had like a YouTube channel where they would like post either trailers or clips from the show or whatever. I mean,
yeah, they did.
Yeah, so this isn't really anything new. I mean,
it's not. And now they're going to be like, hey, I think it's like Apple TV, they'll give like 3 months free or something to try it out. Mm-hmm. But that's pointless. It's fucking pointless.
The 3-month trial?
I think that's what it was. Let me
I don't even know what's on Apple TV, so
I don't either.
I remember hearing there was some M. Night Shyamalan show on there.
Okay, here we go. Actually, I take that back. It was the time for out others leave heavily trials. Apple extended their initial free period for Apple TV Plus subscribers for 3 months. And Disney Plus probably renewed their free trial subscription. So all the other companies are good except for fucking Netflix, because they got rid of the thing that made them money.
Yeah, I don't really know why they would get rid of that too, because I mean, like, free trials are a great incentive for new subscribers to, you know, basically have a sampling of your service, which is what a free trial is supposed to do. And now we're going to get rid of it, and thus not really incentivizing any new subscribers to want to fucking join your site or your service. So it just doesn't make any sense from a business standpoint.
It doesn't. It just makes it worse for them.
I feel like Netflix feels like they can get away with this shit too, because they have so much money and they've just become complacent. They feel like they can just do this kind of stuff and easily get away with it. And I hate to say it, but in some regard, I feel like they might be right, you know, because as much as I want to see justice be done, it's not always the case, unfortunately.
Honestly, it's never going to be the case, especially for Netflix, because that's the hill they're going to die on. Because
there's so much fucking corruption, like, not only in politics, but of course just in entertainment in general. Like, you know, these fucking companies are just rotten to the core. And, you know, I just don't... I mean, I just... It doesn't surprise me at this point. I hate to say it. That, you know, they try to pull shit like this. And then they just think they can get away with it. And sometimes they can, at least with certain companies. Like with a company like Netflix, who's been around for so long, and who's just amassed so much fucking money and so many subscribers. It's almost like I guess they feel like they're too big to fail. The same thing with Disney too. It's like, you know, Disney has just fucking consumed all these different companies and bought out all these companies and all this stuff. They own all this stuff. They basically own everything. And that's because of that they also probably feel like they're too big to fail. Which
I say they own everything.
Well, I'm exaggerating, but you know.
Well, I was going to say they own a big majority, but soon they'll own everything. They'll own Nintendo, for God's sake.
And it's just like, and they're losing money right now too. And I think it's hilarious. If there's anything good that's come out of this pandemic, it's these fucking companies at least having to, I guess what the expression would be is eat some humble pie because you're losing fucking money now because you can't put out your fucking movies in theaters because the theaters are closed. And you got to put it out on streaming services, and you're not going to make as much money on the streaming services. Mulan was a huge fucking box, or like, well, not even box office. They just lost money on that movie, like it was a failure.
Yeah, because they released it both
their parks
on digital.
Aren't really doing numbers, of course, because it's like, you know,
because
the virus. Yeah,
and I remember when Mulan came out too, and everyone hated it. When you see all these critics going, "Oh, it's really good. Oh, it doesn't have to be like the original. It's good." It's like, no,
I didn't even fucking see that pile of shit.
I didn't. Well, okay, you want to know why you didn't see that pile of shit? It's on Disney Plus, and it's 30 fucking
Well, yeah,
bucks.
that's exactly why. And I also had no interest in it because, like, I liked the original movie, and I felt like a live-action remake. Actually, at first, I was a little bit interested because I was like, well, Mulan is one of the exceptions, I think, where they could do a live-action remake and have it at least be somewhat good, but they couldn't even... They fucked that up, too. Like, I was just like, how do you do that? Because it's like, that was one of the few live-action movies you could have done that would have actually maybe been okay in live-action, because if you don't know, they have done other Mulan movies that have been in live-action. So Disney could have done it, but they just... Of course, they can't even fucking do it right.
Okay, let's see. Fucking the original Mulan. I'm actually going to look this up too. I'm going to compare both films.
I think people have done that already, where they've compared scenes from it.
No, not comparing scenes. I'm doing this. An animated musical historical action adventure film. While fucking Mulan 2020 is an American action drama film.
Even though it has, like, mostly Chinese people in it.
Yeah. Well, they probably Americanized it, though. Let's see. We'll look up the reception, critical
Well,
response.
they kind of did, too, because in the movie, the Huns, they're not even called the Huns. They're called, like, the Rorons or whatever the fuck they were calling them in the movie.
Rohan?
The Rorons, I think it was called, like the...
Roran?
Rorans?
Roaring Conganate, which was a form of
I don't fucking know. I just I saw Angry Joe's review for it.
It's a form of Mongolians, essentially.
Oh, so they just don't call them Mongols.
They don't call them Mongols. They call them the Roarings.
But why? Like usually they're just referred to as Mongolians.
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
I don't know. I guess that shows how much I know about history. But at the same time, it's just like, why would they even just call them that instead of just call them fucking Mongolians? Like, why can't you do that?
I have no idea why either. It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about...
Well, actually, hold on. Before we talk about that, I had something I wanted to bring up, too, that wasn't on the topic list, because I just thought about it. I was like, this would be a good topic. So apparently it came out that... I think this is with the PS4 update, but apparently it's going to be gone on the PS5 as well. Well, first of all, I think it came out that Sony was getting rid of communities and...
yeah. No... It wasn't communities they were getting rid of. It was the fact that they will record your party call.
That too, yeah. That's the main thing I was going to talk about. Like it came out that they're apparently going to be recording your party calls. So like, I thought that was,
and they'll send it to their community safety instructors to make sure if they broke any guidelines.
Yeah.
So take a wild swing at how many 12-year-old boys are going to get so salty whenever their fucking PS4 account is banned.
I mean, like, and you know, I just don't. I hate it whenever, and it doesn't. Like, I know, like, people will bring because apparently people are like, oh, Microsoft does it too, and I'm like, okay, when did I defend Microsoft? If that even is the case. that they record, even if that is true, they record calls or whatever. Like, when did I defend them for doing that? I don't like it when any company does that shit, because guess what? It's illegal and it's an invasion of fucking privacy.
Honestly, the whole thing of like and I love how whenever people attack Sony for doing this, they'll immediately go to Microsoft like they've done it before. It's like, yeah, because a lot of people didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Because what Microsoft did in a weird way was kind of smart. Hey, here's an update for your console, but we're going to take away some guideline updates so that you don't know any of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, genius, but at the same time, it's very. Ugh.
But yeah, I'm I've seen people downplay it because gotta defend my brand, gotta fucking because I gotta be a good little consumer and I gotta consume. Don't get on the just downplay the fact that this company is illegally recording you. You still gotta buy my product, and regardless of these illegal shit that they may be doing. I just find that shit crazy, because it's just like, hey, if I find out a company is doing some shady shit like that, guess what? I'm probably not going to support that company. And because people are making the argument too, it's like, oh, you say that now, but you're gonna pay money later and you're gonna buy it. No, I'm not. If they continue to do it, then no, I'm not. I mean, maybe some other people might do it, but I'm fucking not. I hate when people make that fucking argument. Like, it's just like, okay. Well, that may be some other people, but it's not me.
It's like, honestly, it's like we've mentioned before, the PS4 or the PS5, there's not really much anything besides like a select few games that are going to come to it that you're going to buy for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, hey, now I have even less of a reason to want to actually pay money for this console. It's like, because now they're apparently going to be recording your fucking party chats. Not that I even, did any of the PS4, PlayStation party chats in the first place. But, it's just like, I mean, it's really just the principle of it.
Yep.
But yeah, I just thought that was just, that was apparently something that was a hot topic sort of that got brought up.
A hot take?
Well, not really a hot take, but just, a relevant thing, I guess, that got brought up yesterday. Because it came out that Sony was apparently doing that shit.
Yeah, because what was it when they updated the newest update, the 8.0.0? I don't know why they do that shit.
Yeah.
Or 8 point something. It's like, yeah, I read through that. I was like, okay, don't care. I have Discord if I want to play video games with other people.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's regardless, it's just like, it's not right. And, I can't say I'm surprised, because this is what happens when Sony moved their fucking headquarters to California. That was a brilliant idea, by the way. Like now, another thing I should mention too is like, there are these different like Japanese developers and stuff who are like coming out and saying like, we're not putting some of our games on the PS5 because of, as we know, Sony has become more and more censorship happy over the years. So they just don't want to put their games on PS5 because they don't want to have to try to comply with like Sony's really strict censorship, whatever they have on the PS5. Like they have been having, at least on the PS4, and they're probably gonna have on the PS5 as well. So they're just like, fuck that. Our game is just gonna be on the Xbox and PC and Nintendo or whatever other platform.
Yeah, I don't blame them either.
Yeah,
especially due to the fact that Nintendo was like, "Hey, your game has nudity. Hey, we don't care."
And it's like, and I'll tell you, I'll bet you it's just because they're in California now, and they have these fucking weird standards where it's like anime titties bad, but Last of Us 2 sex scene perfectly fine because because it's our kind of game. We like this kind of game, but the anime games, we hate that shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Very xenophobic.
I I don't even know if I would call it like I don't know. It's just like, is it xenophobic, or is it just that they hate anime and they hate the people that like it? I don't know, because it seems like all the soy boys and shit, like they usually like tend to like really hate waifus and shit and like anime girls, and they're like, oh, it's sexism and pedo, just pedo shit or whatever the fuck they would say.
What? Why does this game have waifus in it? I'm married.
Meanwhile, at the same time, these are the same people who defend cuties.
Eesh. It just
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, these same fucking people that hate that. You think if you look at anime girls, they go after Ozaki-chan and some of these other anime girls because they look too young. Oh, cuties is perfectly fine though.
Yeah, it's like Uzaki-chan's like 19, 20 years old. Oh, but she looks like a little girl. Kill herself. And then cuties, actual 11-year-old girls twerking in front of the camera. Oh, money thrown at it. Here's my wallet, Netflix.
Yeah, and it's just more shenanigans with people call it. I like the term soiny. Remember with soiny?
Very swingy. I would say very double standard.
Yeah,
very very much of the double standard.
I will say if you want to play your anime games, just get them on Steam or get them on any other platform. Surprisingly, the Switch is very much non-censorship happy, so I mean, play it on there.
And they have anime games. They have the Senran Kagura games.
Yeah,
where you get to touch girls' feet.
Yeah, that's the dating sim one.
The reflexations.
Yeah. The mini games in that are weird. It's essentially just like borders on like softcore hentai at some points. It's just
imagine like you go on Twitter, you see shit like that, and you go, imagine the smell. Try the fucking creepy people.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Hulu, because let's talk about something that Hulu actually did that was actually fucking good.
Animaniacs.
Yeah. That's one thing I was very fucking skeptical about. Because when I heard that they were coming back, I was skeptical because you have a lot of people doing censorship bullshit.
Yeah.
And then they come up with a trailer showing off the animation design. And it looks good.
Yeah, from what I've seen of it, it looks fine. Like, I mean, it does look like the original style, but just updated.
Yeah, it's refined with modern animation, and it's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like it could be good for a modern era, but they're probably going to take out certain things in the show that they didn't in the past. They did say they were bringing back Pinky and the Brain, which made people like cream themselves.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people watch that as kids, probably.
So, what I think will happen with the series, they bring back Pinky and the Brain. They're going to bring back Slappy, which was one of their main characters in the show. They're probably going to get rid of Goodfeathers, which was a parody of Goodfellas, because it's an offensive stereotype to Italians. Which there already is a thing that exists that was very offensive to Italians. It was called Jersey Shore.
Oh, Jesus. Jersey Shores.
I'm trying to think what else they're probably going to bring back. I think they might just bring back the original stuff, too, but it's going to, like, maybe parody Disney and how comic book movies and reboots.
Yeah.
And remakes. I hope they do that shit.
That would be pretty funny if they did.
Take a baseball bat and take a massive swing at Disney.
I mean, the boys already kind of did parody like the MCU and the DC movies. So,
but I think that was more making fun of the Avengers mostly, and
the Avengers and Justice League. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that. I still need to finish up the boys.
Yeah, season 1 is good. Season 2 has
moments.
Yeah, season 2, I feel like the pacing is like kind of it's kind of weird. Like it has good things about it, but yeah, like some people are saying it's not as, I will say, definitely not as good as the first season in my opinion. Like it's I did like Stormfront and like what we found out about like her character and the plot point about Homelander having a son, all this stuff. But I don't know, like it felt like it moved a little bit too slow at times, and then at other points it was like felt like it was going too fast and rushing stuff. So it I don't know, like it's good. I would say watch it, but it's just not as good as the first season in my opinion.
So it's kind of like True Detective then, how the first season was amazing.
I don't know because I haven't seen the second season of True Detective.
Oh, look! Oh, funny enough, same here.
Yeah.
Okay. Mortal Kombat 11, they announced a new combat pack. That is all. Moving on.
Yeah. Why did you even put that on there?
I felt like saying it. And Steve was releasing Minecraft. Moving on. Starters. There we go. A lot of people saw that they're bringing back Rain and Melina and add in fucking John Rambo as a character.
John Rambo?
Yes, they're bringing in John fucking Rambo,
Jeez.
a certain someone's best friend or ex-best friend. But no, apparently someone made a great tweet about when they threw in Rambo into Mortal Kombat. It's essentially your dad's game because he's getting exactly the characters he wanted. They threw in Terminator, RoboCop.
Yeah, the guest characters are weird.
Yeah, they threw in. I can understand Joker being thrown into it because they also worked on Injustice,
right?
But I just think it's funny how they threw in RoboCop and Rambo.
Yeah, that seems totally random.
I mean, okay, Rambo makes sense. He's a violent motherfucker, and RoboCop. I don't get RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. Like, it seems like he would be really, like, I mean, he would be pretty slow and, like, I get, like, something like that where he was in, like, a fighting game. I mean, he's part robot, so I don't know.
I mean, I love how with Mortal Kombat 11, it's old 80s movies.
Mm-hmm.
And how Mortal Kombat 10, they brought in horror movie characters.
Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger. No, he was 9.
Oh. Yeah.
No, they brought in Jason Voorhees, Leatherface. I don't know. I actually gotta look this up now. Let's see.
I think they had the Predator.
They have Predator, yes. Character. Horror movie characters. There we go. Who did they bring in? They brought in Leatherface, Alien, Predator. Yeah, that was another one they threw in there. Predator. Michael
Myers?
Oh, no, they didn't do that shit. Never mind. Okay, no. They brought in Leatherface, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and I thought they threw an Alien, too.
I mean, it would make sense if they had the Predator.
Maybe.
Yeah, because they did Alien vs. Predator.
I'm trying to look that up. Okay, here we go. Mortal Kombat 10. Jason Voorhees, Predator, a Xenomorph alien, and Leatherface for Mortal Kombat 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mortal Kombat 9, they threw in Freddy Krueger and Kratos for PS4 or PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then Mortal Kombat 11, they threw in RoboCop, John Rambo, Terminator, Spawn.
Yeah, I remember they had Spawn.
I mean, Spawn was fun. And they actually got the original voice actor for Spawn, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's move on. Let's move on to, since we talked about Disney, let's talk about a tweet I showed you.
Which one?
Disney saved Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about, we shat on one company, praised two more in a way, and now we're going to go back to shitting on another company again.
Yeah. I feel like Well, with that statement, I feel like people probably thought that at first, at least when The Force Awakens came out. They probably thought, like, oh, Disney saved Star Wars from George Lucas because George Lucas was terrible because of the prequels. And then, we got The Last Jedi. And then everybody started to slowly realize Disney actually murdered Star Wars in cold blood.
Yeah, they murdered character development for that. No, but here's what he put in the tweet. The tweet he showed off Last Jedi, which that's bullshit. The Mandalorian, which I don't think Disney saved it. Jon Favreau saved Star Wars.
That's really like less to do. Like, I feel like it's kind of not accurate to say Disney because, like, yeah, with Mandalorian, that was like pretty much Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Like, Kennedy didn't really have any involvement, at least with like the first season. I don't think she has any involvement in the second season either. But like, she doesn't really have much involvement at all with that series.
She really
same
didn't
with like
have
the Clone Wars, as far as I know. So
yeah, Clone Wars and Rebels. I mean, Rebels was okay from what I saw, but it wasn't as good as like Clone Wars.
Yeah, like anything else though, like I guess aside from like Rogue One, I suppose, like like it's been pretty meh to just bad. So I mean I don't know if I call that saving Star Wars.
And then they threw in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess we're counting the games, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, because, hold on, I have the case right here. Were they involved? Oh, yep, they were actually involved with it. But what were they involved with it? I forget. Jedi Fallen Order time. Let's look that up.
Well, there's not really a lot. There's only, like, one subtle reference to the movies. But aside from that, that's really not. There's really no like references to the sequel trilogy.
Okay, that's what it was. Apparently, Lucasfilms was involved with Fallen Order, but it was to create new locations and characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also funny how they brought in one of their narrative designers for Mafia 3 to be in Jedi Fallen Order, which actually that's kind of good though. It gave him a way to say, "Hey, you did something better than Mafia 3."
I think one of the main reasons that game was so good too is because I think apparently they had one of the people behind the Old Republic games. I think it was like what was his name, like Chris Avalone or something. He was
that's actually him. And what was it? They actually got a good developer. Respawn. Yeah, the only game they made that was good was Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty impressed with Respawn though. Like, I mean, Titanfall 2 was good. Jedi Fallen Order was also good. So.
Yeah, it was good. Squadrons is a mixed bag. Like, it's not bad, but it could be better.
Yeah.
But yeah, to say that, I love how they said Jedi Fallen Order is like, did you forget about Battlefront?
Yeah, especially when Battlefront 2 first came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I definitely don't think so. Like, as it's I hate to be one of those people, but I want Lucas to come back. I mean, I don't feel like he's going to be the savior or anything, but like I just feel like it's either like Lucas should come back, or like, I mean, no, pretty much I'm going to parrot the opinion everybody else has, which is that Kennedy just needs to permanently get the boot, which and then get Kennedy and all her cronies out, and then replace all of them with people who actually give a fuck about the franchise.
Jon Favreau is a good example.
Yeah, maybe have like him or Dave Filoni be like the new head.
Yeah, especially Dave Filoni, because they made an incredible thing with it.
Yeah. Oh, they actually care about the franchise.
Yep. And let's also bring up Clone Wars final season sucked. That's it.
I've heard some people say it was great, and some people say it wasn't. So
I'm hearing a lot of people that watched it, that were fans of it, deny it being good. Because they tried, but they just rushed it. That's all it did.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, I still need to watch Clone Wars, but yeah, I would be pissed if, like, especially if I had to wait years for the final season and then it just was a rush job.
Yeah, very, very rush job. I think I don't know if it's worse than Samurai Jack season 5 or better.
Well, people said, like, at least with Battle Through Time, they have, like, sort of like an alternate ending, I guess, to Samurai Jack.
Like, what would happen if he didn't go home?
I think, I don't know, because I think what I saw was, like, him, like, sitting under a tree with that one girl, what's her name? One of the daughters of Baku. Yeah.
Yeah, Bashi.
And people were like, why couldn't we get this ending? Because I think in the ending is a little bit depressing, actually, in the series, from what I saw. Like, because he apparently, like, I guess she dies, and then he comes back to his own time, and he's a little bit, he's just sad. I'm just like...
Yeah, because... do you care if I...
go ahead, I've already kind of had some of it spoiled anyway.
Yeah, essentially, he does go back, kills Aku, he's about to have a wedding, but she ends up dying, because since there's no more Aku, she couldn't exist.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, he killed Aku, so I don't know. Unless they found a way for her to not die. I mean, I guess that's what happens in the game, I suppose.
Yeah, and then he goes back, goes to a tree, sees a ladybug, smiles, go, oh, you still exist, Ashi. Just, happy ending.
Fucking ladybug.
Yeah, bittersweet ending.
I mean, I'm fine with bittersweet endings, but that just sounds dumb.
It sucked. I didn't... Like, I liked the 5th season of Samurai Jack, but I hated it. I hated the last episode.
I would be kind of pissed, too. If I saw that, I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
You would be disappointed. I think we got the appetizers out of the way.
Yeah.
The appetizers are gone. Let's get to the main course.
The Lolcows.
The Lolcows.
Yeah. So there's quite a few different ones.
There's only 2 questions that we have to ask the internet and ourselves, which is, what makes an internet personality a Lolcow? And why do we need them?
Well, to answer the first question, I would say, like, it's basically when somebody either he starts taking everything on the internet way too seriously, and because of that, he starts to engage in either being mad on the internet, and thus making an ass of himself, or he just just makes an ass of himself by generally being an idiot. And
you're talking about the people themselves?
The Lolcows, yeah. Like,
okay.
And then, of course, they would get trolled. Such is the case with people like, we see it a lot with people like Darkside Phil, where he'll, like, lash out at people that, if people don't give him enough money. We see it with, of course, prime example being Chris Chan, where he, just continuously falls for people trolling him online and is, just kind of believes everything that's said to him whenever he thinks he's got a new girlfriend or whatever the case may be.
Or you have the ones that will constantly brag, they'll flex that, oh, yeah, look at my new stuff, and then have it taken away and go, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. And then, of course, like with people like, Wings of Redemption, he just, he also lashes out at his fan base because, and that's what caused him to become a Lolcow, because he just got mad at people that would troll him in Call of Duty, and his chat that would, troll him, and then he would just have emotional reactions, and that's why people troll you, because they want to they get a rise out of you, and they did it with Wings. Like, they were able to continuously get a rise out of him. I don't think they do it so much anymore because Wings doesn't really... Like, I think he still does it, but it's not as bad as it used to be. But with Phil, it's like... With people like Darkside Phil, it's just like... He's constantly doing stupid shit, and he's always just... it seems like it's kind of always something new with him. And then, of course, we have people like Low Tier God, who is just... Oh, I mean, with Phil, too. He's bad at video games. Low Tier God is also bad at video games. He's so bad at fighting games, and they both come from the FGC, where they think that they were good fighting games, and they continuously get their ass kicked. And of course, whenever they get their ass kicked, they're not good sports about it. They always fucking, lash out at the person that beat them.
Or they'll just say, "Oh, you don't have the big."
And with Phil, he got a big head and thought he was like a big deal because he beat somebody in a Street Fighter game once. Oh
no, it wasn't. He beat somebody. He won a tournament.
He won a tournament in like a.
It was Street Fighter, a broken port
of Street Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, and what was worse about it is like with him, we're going to go back to the whole DSP discussion.
Back to the past.
He brags over the littlest accomplishments that most people usually do every day. Like, oh, I cleaned my office.
Meanwhile, his office really isn't clean.
Yeah. What's worse though, no, because he leaves it dusty, and once a year he'll go through his office and fucking clean. And he'll go, I cleaned my office, guys. Like, good for you. Keep doing it.
I guess with people like him who they don't really, generally do a lot of house chores or do most things, menial tasks that most adults do, it's, a big deal to him. Because, he'll, with any of his girlfriends he has, he'll have them, cook for him or do all of his shit for him, basically.
Yeah. And then you fucking see him going, why is she not back with my dinner? Oh, you know what? You just brought up a very good thing that you just brought up for me. Let's see. I gotta find it real quick though, because I remember liking the tweets, but I have to go back to find the said tweet. But it has to deal with one of his exes.
Yeah, I think Phil just wants a housewife that'll wait on him hand and foot, and he doesn't have to do anything.
And not yell at him saying, "Oh, I deserve an apology." Oh no, I don't.
I would say, Phil, the difference with that is that most people that have a wife like that, they'll probably work a 9 to 5 or something where the wife will take care of the house while they're at work and actually making money. Not sitting on their ass playing video games.
Here's the tweet. And you know what? I'm going to say this for record. In the past, I fucking hated her.
Oh, yeah. I have seen,
She's better.
Yeah.
We're going to go for the record that we do not attack this person because she escaped the toxicity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's good that she got out of that relationship because it was a toxic relationship. And
imagine being in her shoes, being sick, and some fat tub of lard comes in and goes, "Make me food! Daddy's hungry!"
Yeah, I can't imagine that would have been, especially because she was probably committed to it, too, because she moved with him, across the country, essentially, to Washington.
There could be a theory
left
that
her family behind.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I can speculate that she probably moved across country because she knew there was better opportunities in the West.
Could be.
And she used Phil to get to Washington.
Yeah, that could be one interpretation, but
if that was the fucking case, then bravo, power play.
It's sad because I think she's really the only person that ever really gave a shit about him, in terms of people he's been in a relationship with. Because since then it's it was that one random call girl or whatever he was trying to hook up with, and
okay. I think this whole thing with the call girl was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, she came out and said he had a small penis and stuff.
Yeah, say that his dick was small and that, remember this strap on? I remember using it on you, Philly boy.
Oh shit.
I remember that too, and I was like, oh shit, this is actually fucking real.
And now recently, of course, we have Kat, and Kat looks like she's miserable every time she's with him. You could just tell from her facial expressions and the way, and whenever she's in videos, her body language too. Like, it looks like she's uncomfortable when she sits next to him.
Kat looks like a woman that got smashed with a frying pan and has to deal with that face.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like it's really telling because supposedly she like lives on the bottom floor of the house, and like Phil is mostly on the top floor or something. And I think she just kind of stays there, like she doesn't really leave.
Yeah, like she doesn't. Like
that's weird. Like I just feel like if you're living together as a couple, like that's not normal. Like that's kind of signs of an unhealthy relationship, you know.
It isn't a normal relationship. Like, example, my girlfriend, she's watching TV in the other room, and I'm in my office, but at least I spend time with her.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not spending time together, then it's like, I mean, can you really say you're even together at that point? Like, you just live with each other, but you're not really, like, doing anything with each other. It's weird. Like, it's like...
It's essentially you're not living with a significant other. You're living with a...
Your roommate, yeah. Like...
Roommate.
Yeah, she's just your roommate. A part of me, like, and I hate to say this, but a part of me feels at least a little bit sorry for Phil, because I think he's lonely. I think he's a lonely motherfucker. I think that's... I think he fucking is, because I think... I don't know if he... I think he realizes that his relationship has gone to shit, but he doesn't want to be alone. In the house. He doesn't want to be alone in that house. He feels... Like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, now that you say it like that, one part of me feels bad for him, because I've been through that. I was married, got divorced, and now I had to live in a house alone. I know exactly how it feels.
But yeah, like, when you also consider, like, it's a pretty big house. Like, he's just alone in that house. Like, there's nobody else there. Like, no family. Like, the only time is his family probably, like, rarely visits him because they have to probably, like, fly over there. And he's just, like, just kind of there. I mean, yeah, that'd definitely make you feel like this sense of isolation, like, really fucking lonely.
Yeah, it's like, but it also makes you look at yourself and go, at least I'm not like him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could say that for a lot of Lolcows, where you just look at yourself and you're like, well, at least I'm not that guy.
Or that bitch.
I mean, Chris Chan is a prime example, because Chris Chan is just like, he's found so many ways to just totally fuck up his life. Like, beyond repair.
He alienated his personality by the way he acted. He spurred out.
Because I remember, I actually showed my friend, like, people kind of briefly going over Chris Chan, and he was kind of confused about the whole thing. I was, like, trying to give him context, but there's just so much about Chris Chan, like, where it's like, there's no way you can, like in a condensed way, like, talk about him, because there's so much shit he's gotten into. Like, I mean, if there's the testament to that was it being that there's just a long ass documentary series about the guy that's like, I think 40 or some odd videos into the series at this point, where they're all like 40 fucking minutes or so.
Like, okay, I'm actually going to do a recommendation here. Like, if you just want the clip notes version of what Chris Chan is really like, or what he has done, just watch Down the Rabbit Hole's video on him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's professional, straight to the point.
Right. But if you don't want that, then there is the person I'm referring to is Geno Samuel. He's that's pretty much all he's known for at this point, because he's pretty much just doing this long-running documentary, like, about pretty much every aspect of Chris Chan's life, pretty much. And he's finally, like, now he's in the more recent part of the stuff with Chris Chan after he's gone through the trans phase.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he went from he to she.
Yeah, he still is.
But still thinks he's
I mean, you could tell he was there was something up with that too, because of how much he talked about how he hated the gays.
Yeah, I just think that's fucking hilarious. That's like the biggest form of hypocrisy.
Well, I find too that people that usually go on about that kind of stuff, it's like they've got some stuff to hide. You know, it's like, well, what are you not telling? You, like, it seems like you're like the fact that you have to constantly go on about how much you hate the gays. It's like you sure you're not maybe gay yourself or something.
Yeah, it's like. But
I have to say he's like, oh, but I like women still. But I'm like, okay, but why are you, like, I don't know. But yet you dress like a woman.
Yeah, he's put on a front that says he likes women and says he hates gay people, but the old saying goes that people who criticize homosexuals is hiding their own sense of homosexuality in themselves.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, maybe with Christian it wasn't necessarily homosexuality, but more like he wanted to do this stuff where, you know, he wants to be a trans person or whatever, so maybe that's what it really was, but...
maybe he might get lucky and hook up with Linkara.
Well, he apparently he hates... He pretty much... he's talked about this before. He doesn't like men. And he doesn't like himself either because he's a man.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm remembering that now, too. I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense now that I think about that, because he did talk about how much he just hated the male species. So I'm like, well, I guess that makes sense considering how he wants to be a woman.
Yeah, it's really... Christian is like a rare specimen where it's like you have to watch at a distance.
That's the best way to watch any Lolcow, really.
And I don't feel sorry for him. Like, all the times where people have written him letters admiring him and want to be his girlfriend, they're all just fucking catfishes.
Yeah.
Because he puts himself out there to be catfished by all these people that want to be his girlfriend, and then, nope. Hey, give me your pendant because I love you so much, Christian. Oh, okay, here you go.
Yeah, like, I feel bad just because, like, he was never put through, like, any special education classes. But, like, his parents just basically put him through all the normal classes in high school, and then never got him the help he needed. So that's kind of, like, why he turned out the way he was. I mean, I guess, you know, you could argue, like, if maybe he got the help he needed, he would have turned out differently. But, I mean, at the same time, it's just, like, I can't really feel bad, too, because he just doesn't really, like, people have tried to help him, and he just never really, you know, he never really just wants the help, or he just doesn't really change because of it. You know, it just, despite everybody trying to help him, he just pretty much goes in one ear out the other. You know, he can't really help the guy.
Yeah, it's like he's been given so many chances to listen and talk, but nope, never happens.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's in his 30s now, and he's still just kind of... still basically a man-child. He's, you know, the only difference now is, of course, he's trans, and he's desperate for money. He's trying to sell all his, like, Sonichu shit on eBay, and he blows all of his money on Lego sets and whatever else he buys on... whatever else he buys. Meanwhile, his mother, I think, is desperate for money. And I think she is, her health is deteriorating and all this other stuff, so...
Even his health is deteriorating. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, that too.
He's a fat fuck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's not healthy, and he has not really been healthy for years.
I don't want smokers, yet looks and talks like a smoker.
Yeah, he's always been overweight. He's never done anything about it. I mean, you know, you could say for the same for other Lolcows, such as Darkside Phil, and especially Wings of Redemption. Wings of Redemption, actually, the one of the main things about him, actually, was him trying to lose the weight, because he is a very morbidly obese man. I think he's over, like, 500 pounds or something. So he basically, you know, and this is another thing with, like, people trying to help some of these Lolcows, but, you know, they basically just can't help them. Like, his friends, like, your people who were at least friends with him at the time, friends with Wings at the time, I think it was FPS Kyle, FPS Russia, basically, like, tried to help him out by, you know, saying, hey, we can set you up with a personal trainer. And
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and you can come down and either try to exercise, lose the weight, and I think, you know, they even, like, modified their bath so that he could fit in the bath, because he wouldn't fit in it otherwise.
And he looked like a hippo documentary that you see on Animal Planet.
Yeah, and I think, like, the main thing, like, really that kind of, with the point where they were, like, done with Wings, was that he he was they invited him to go on like a hiking or camping trip or something, and at the last minute he said, I'm not going, like as they were driving over there and they were trying to call him, and he told them like, yeah, I'm not going. So he pretty much just like flaked out at the last minute. So I would be pissed too. I'd be like, I'd probably snap at him at that if that were the case, because I'd be like, hey, I did all this shit for you, and now this is like how you repay me, is just by flaking out at me at the last minute. I would just be fucking mad if that happened.
I would too.
So.
It's like a guy that you call to be your friend. It's like,
and you spend all this money to help him and to get him the help he needs, and then he just fucking slaps you in the face, essentially. Like, just, or well, I guess spits in your face would be the proper expression, but yeah, like he just, you go out of your way for the guy, and he just doesn't seem to appreciate it.
Yeah. It's very bad, especially...
And that's the thing that people got on Wings for, is that's just that he has this fucking attitude, and he doesn't seem to appreciate anything people do for him. And he's always begging for money.
He's always going to beg people for money.
I mean, the same thing could be said for Phil, too, is, he's also always begging for money.
When isn't he begging for money?
I feel like a common trait with most of these Lolcows is that there are typically always in like dire financial straits, and it's pretty much just because by their own design, because they have terrible spending habits. I mean, I know I'm not really one to talk, but it's like I'm not that bad where it's like I'm so bad off that I have to constantly beg for money.
At least you're not going on this podcast and be like, yo, donate to my Patreon.
I'll do
donate.
I'll wear the vest. If you donate, I'll wear the vest.
What fucking vest do you? No, what's that?
I'll drag the dusty, dirty vest out of my closet and put it on.
No, better. I'll go get a snapback and wear it on street. I'll wear shades. I'll look
Stunner
like
shades.
I can just imagine, like, if you ever streamed yourself building Gunpla, and all of a sudden you just have like one of those hentai snapback hats.
What would that look like? It'd be like the girls doing the ahego face or whatever it's called.
The ahego?
Yeah, the ahego.
I wouldn't just...
They have shirts for it.
Yeah, like, I can just imagine, like, you're wearing, like what gamer shirt do you want me to wear, guys?
You guys pay me money, I'll go in public wearing that shirt.
But don't come to my house. I'll shoot with the gun.
Okay, Boogie.
Fucking boogie ass motherfucker.
Can we talk about that real quick too?
Yes, let's do that, because he's turned himself into a fucking lolcow years ago.
He kind of has been, yeah. Like, I guess you could say Boogie's also exhibits traits of a lolcow.
Yeah, constantly begging for money, trying to be the center of attention. People give him advice, and he constantly shits on them. And he does something.
He manipulates people too, because he's like, "Feel bad for me, guys. Feel bad for me. I'm
gonna kill myself. Feel bad for me."
Suicide baits all the fucking time.
The only person that I would point my gun at I put a gun at myself, not another human being. Many weeks ago, or something like that, pulls out a gun and fires it at somebody.
Yeah, Frank Hassel. Like, I mean, I would definitely say both of them are in the wrong in that situation, though, because it's like Frank Hassel, like, actually went to his house, like, and he threatened him before he went to his house, and then he goes to his house and, like, trying to start some shit.
Yeah, of course he did, because that's what Lolcows do. They'll go after each other and start shit for no reason.
Yeah. Apparently, like, Frank Hassel's claim to fame is, like, harassing people in public or, like, pranking them or whatever the fuck he does.
Quote unquote pranking them.
Because, like, there's a video of him, like, just harassing some old dude, and I'm just like, this just isn't funny. It just makes you look like an asshole.
Yeah. Or what was that other guy? Not Andy Warhol.
Andy Worski?
Worski, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, did you see the video that the Stay Back?
Stay back! Stay back! Stay the fuck back! Stay back!
Stay the fuck back!
It's pretty relevant too because
shoot him, Kyle, or where the fuck his name was.
Kyle, yeah. It's pretty relevant too because that also involved a severe misunderstanding of when you should use a gun.
Yeah, it's like you see all these fucking people like they just want to start shit, and then some people like don't want to start shit with you. Stay back, dude. I'm just trying to cross the sidewalk, dude.
It's like, to me, it's like that's just like a severe sign, like a sign of severe insecurity. It's like if you have to use, like some guys just come up and they just want to kick your ass, and you have your friend like pull out a fucking gun so that you're not gonna get your ass kicked.
It's like, I don't think you want your ass kicked. You just, or you don't want to go to jail. And I think he got sent to jail.
It's funny because that's the thing that didn't know. Well, actually, no. He wasn't the one that got sent to jail. It was Kyle, the guy that pulled out the gun, that got sent to jail because he was the one with the gun. So he got sent to jail. So he's the one that got fucked. Andy, who's the fucking retard, is the one that actually ended up kind of getting away, which is fucking bullshit. But
he essentially got away with murder.
He's like, yeah, man, don't worry, man, we're gonna bail you out, man.
I'm gonna bail you out. Left his ass behind.
And he should have just stayed in fucking Canada.
He should have went back to Canada, taken Justin Bieber with him.
It sucks too because like I used to like Andy Warski. Like I feel like he seems like one of those guys who would be like at least used to, like it seemed like he would be one of those guys who'd be fun to, you know, hang out with and everything. But like the more you see Andy, the more you realize he's kind of somebody put it really good as saying like he easily gets influenced by people around him. So because he like by default won that match, he had like the quote unquote, okay, so I should kind of give context for this. So Andy, like, his internet career kind of went downhill after, because he started this thing called Warski Live, where he would basically have people on to debate each other, and he got popular that way. But then Warski Live started going downhill because he had a falling out with his co-host, and that kind of divided people. So he kind of became a little bit infamous. So he regained his fame because he decided he was going to have a boxing match, or like was it like mixed martial arts? I forget exactly, but he was going to basically fight this guy called Tonka Saw, and Tonka Saw is like he claims to be a wrestler. He apparently he used to be a wrestler, and he's like a wrestler, and he's like basically an internet tough guy sort of person. So he was like saying, "I'll kick your ass, Andy." So Andy's like, "Okay, let's do it." So that he decides to set up like an actual like match between him and Tonka in Knoxville, Tennessee. So they were both planning to go to this thing and fight each other, but Tonka, and people call him Donga just to make fun of it, Donga fucking bailed, and Andy won by default. So Tonka became a laughingstock. Andy kind of regained his popularity and his fame because he, now he's seen as, the guy that by default beat Tonka. And Andy, and this boosts Andy's ego to a ridiculous extent. So now Andy thinks he's top shit again. So he decides it would be a great idea, in order to revive his channel, to start doing IRL streaming. Which, if you know anything about IRL streaming, it's basically you go around with your fucking smartphone, streaming from your smartphone, and like doing like random shit in public or whatever.
Or just doing shit in your everyday fucking life.
Yeah, Andy decided to go down that route. And when I saw he was doing this, I'm just like, Andy, what are you doing? Like, because Andy used to, before he did the Warski Live shit, he would just basically like talk about like SJWs and shit, and like make fun of them. He was that kind of guy. And then he went into doing like Warski Live, and then he was like, I want to do IRL streaming. And I'm like, why are you doing that? That's such a bad idea. But he thought it was a great idea.
It's like,
so
he became Medicare for a bit. Or a Medicare-like person, because he always would go after people and make fun of them, even if they deserved it.
I wouldn't say like Medicare. He'd basically like he would basically just have videos where he sat down with his friend at the time, like Chris, and they would just like make fun of like those SJW videos. Like I think it was around like 2015 or something.
It sounds a lot like a podcast.
Kind of. But he did. He started doing the Warski Live was a podcast he was doing, and that's how he got popular again. But yeah, he tried to do IRL streaming, and people were kind of they didn't really like the IRL streaming stuff, and that's kind of like where he got to where he was with the whole like that infamous Stay Back video where he was like walking around Miami, and because he, of course, like I said, he felt like he was a fucking big man because he won by default by not even fighting Tonka. He thought that he could get into fights with fucking people or like threaten them at least, like those guys, and then basically turns out he messed with the wrong people. They were going to go after him, and he's like, I'm just going to pull out a gun instead, or like have my friend pull out a gun instead of like actually fighting them. And it really shows like Andy's probably a pussy if he's like trying to do that shit, you know, if he won't actually defend him, like fight or anything. And he's, especially if he's talking all that kind of shit where he's like, oh yeah, I'll fucking, because before this even happened, he was talking mad shit to this guy. And I mean, the guy was an idiot, but at the same time, he wasn't helping himself either, because he was like, I'll fuck you up, bro. I'll fight you, bro. And it's just like, that's how you got yourself into this situation, Andy, because the dude got his fucking friends to come after you because they were gonna fucking throw down with you. They were gonna.
Yeah, because you were talking this mad game, and you didn't walk it, and then you went, Kyle, shoot him. I don't want to go to jail. You shoot him.
It's funny too because like I know there are certain people on the internet who have big heads and they have big egos and they're basically internet tough guys. Like Tonka's an example where, you know, he's an internet tough guy and he fucking flaked out and didn't fight Andy. But I think you could probably say Andy's kind of like that too, because I mean, I will give Andy credit. He actually trained and like went on a diet and everything in preparation for the fight, but the fight never happened. But because he won by default, he got a fucking big head and he thought he could fight anybody, I guess. And didn't end up being the case.
Yeah, it's like, it's so fucking bad, dude. Like, if you think you can do anything because you have a big, massive ego, it's best to keep your mouth shut.
I mean, if you... I guess I should specify, like, yeah, if you can't back that shit up, shut the fuck up. Like, you're gonna get your ass kicked. That's what was about to happen until Kyle pulled out his fucking gun. Luckily, nobody got shot.
Yeah, nobody got shot. Nobody got severely hurt. Except Andy Warski's dignity. Well,
actually, Andy Warski's quote-unquote friend, Failure, the fat guy in the video, actually did get hurt because one of the dude's friends kind of started punching him. And Failure, like when he was getting his ass beat, is like, shoot him. I'm like, it's a good thing Kyle didn't actually listen to the fucking idiot. He didn't shoot him, but yeah, Failure was like, fire, shoot him. It's just like, Jesus, man. But yeah, I kind of feel bad for Kyle, like, cause it's just like, but I mean, dude put himself in that situation too, because he's like hanging around a bunch of fucking idiots. And it's like, I can kind of empathize to an extent, because it's like, I've been there before where I've hung out with like a crowd of retards and like they get you into trouble because they're idiots.
Or you work with said retards that they want to start shit and then put the blame on you and you get written up or fired.
Yeah.
Yes, that's like the job I had in the past. My last job, I quit that one. I couldn't deal with the retards anymore, so I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. And in terms of other locales, like Low Tier God, there's not as much I can really say about Low Tier God, just because.
Well, there's one thing.
Yeah.
One thing you can say about him, that he did something really good, which was going after one of the main Kaos thoughts.
Oh, Momo-kun.
This
one of the rare times I actually like agree with one of his opinions.
Yeah, agreed, because he made that whole fiasco worthwhile, because he was just fucking trash talking her, and it's so good because she needed to hear that shit.
I will say, I think LTG is a closeted homosexual because he constantly talks about the BBC And
you need to be like, dude.
yeah, like he always has these weird like there's so many stream clips of him like talking about like all this like homoerotic stuff.
How he has the BBC genes and how no one can compare. And then as soon as people were talking about BBC genes, he's like, yeah, that's what's up, man. It's like, how the fuck did you know? Did he send you a dick pic?
Yeah. And then he started talking about like fucking cyborg BBC. I'm not kidding. Because he started talking about like future technology, and he was like, yeah, we get the fucking like AI and the cyborg black men or whatever.
Okay, yeah, cyborg dicks. You know what they call them? They call those things fuck machines.
Yeah, that shit's pretty suspect. I wouldn't, like I said, I would not be surprised if it came out that he was actually like totally fucking flaming gay.
Like I could just imagine like he's on streams like, this is low tier God, and then he gets off stream. He's like, "Oh my god, I couldn't keep this up anymore." Oh my god, babe, give me a latte, and it's like a big black guy. He's like, "You need something, sweetie?"
Oh god. That would just be great. I can actually see that happening though. But yeah, like I don't really have much to say about the dude because I'm not really into the fighting game community stuff, and I'm not really into fighting games in general, so I don't really have much of an opinion on like his gaming skills and how much he sucks at Street Fighter.
Like there are times where he does okay in Street Fighter. He does a lot better in DSP, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Or let's go back to DSP for a moment. Remember when he tried to fight Jaha?
He tried to fight who?
His name was like Jaha or something. He was like at a fighting game tournament, and apparently Jaha was going to come beat his ass, but he hid in the bathroom.
Yeah, I think I might have heard something about that.
I think that was his name, but I don't remember. But yeah, that's what happens when you have a big head or you talk that shit. You better walk the walk. You better do beatdowns or something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of these people are just so disconnected from reality because they'll talk all this shit. And then when it comes to like actually backing it up in real life, they're just like, "Oh no, dude, it's
just a prank, bro.
It's just a prank, bro.
Bro, don't chase me."
Oh yeah, so the last one I think we were gonna go over was well, actually two of them, like Spoonie and Linkara, because we had like the guy with the glasses people, or Channel Awesome, I guess you'd say.
You know what? Let's add them into it, and then let's add equality. Let's talk about some like thoughts that ruin everything.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I guess you would. Those aren't technically Lolcows. They're just more like Twitch thoughts and stuff.
Well, true, but Momo-kun has like a complete Kiwi Farms dedicated to her, and she's become a Lolcow within its entirety.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, we'll talk about. Well, I don't know if Michael Does Life is really much of a Lolcow.
Yeah, I still had Michael. Okay, so Michael Does Life. Like, I feel like this guy's a troll. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's actually like.
Yeah, because he comes out and he says like, "Ghost of Tsushima sucks. This game is great, but it sucks."
Yeah, he pretty much just makes all these clickbait like videos and just videos that are meant to like rile people up. Essentially, like he's just trying to piss people off, I think. And then in his videos, he acts like a fucking crackhead.
He looks like
one, and he acts like one.
He probably did a lot of crack before he does his videos, and then he rips off his shirt for no random reason.
Yeah,
he spurts out.
I mean, it's he's one of those weird people you find on the internet, but it's like it's so ridiculous. You have to ask, like, is this guy like legit, or is he just fucking with me?
I kind of want to say he's legit fucking with people.
I feel like he is, just because of how over the top he is and how like all his videos are basically the same in terms of like him just saying something sucks, something that everybody like sucks, going with like some random rumors about something or whatever the case may be. and then in the video acting like a fucking deranged psychopath.
Or talking about how, like, what was it? Spider-Man sucks because of the puddles.
The puddles and, like, the web slinging, or the web swinging in the game.
Yeah, he'll talk about that. He'll talk about how great Ghost of Tsushima is, but in actuality, it sucks to him.
Yeah.
Or how X is going to fail with no proof.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a lot of, like I said, a lot of clickbait stuff and stuff without any evidence, just like basically just clickbait and trying to rile everybody up to watch the videos.
I think the same thing could be said about Dreamcast guy.
Oh, I forgot about Dreamcast guy. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk briefly about him, because the only reason why I barely know about him is because he has a video where saying that Crash 4 is bad. He was just saying that Crash 4 was bad. Yeah,
Dreamcast guy, like, I don't know if I'd necessarily say I don't know, like he.
I don't think
he's not technically. I wouldn't say he's a lolcow, but he has like some really bad, like just hot takes he puts out there, and it's just like,
yeah, to the point where it could become very lolcow at a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw the Crash 4 video. Like, I didn't see it, but I kind of want to do like a reaction of that video.
Yeah, I think that video got ratioed pretty bad too, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Because he was saying that Crash 4 was bad. It sold less than Insane Trilogy. And I even made a tweet about it saying, like, okay, if Crash 4 sucks, why the fuck couldn't I find copies of the game?
Yeah. I
did, maybe a day or so after that, found a copy of Crash 4. But it was the last one.
Yeah, Dreamcast guy just has some really fucking weird opinions on stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't really know enough about him, though, because I think I've seen him around before he started giving out these fucking hot takes that he's been doing lately with some of his videos, but...
Yeah, very bad ones.
I'll be honest, like, I unironically, like, actually like some of his reviews, because I think I, like, watched some of his reviews, like, for Darksiders 3 and some other stuff he talked about, but...
yeah,
I guess when he's reviewing stuff, it's fine, but, like, whenever he talks about, like, gaming news or whatever, he just...
he's kind of... he doesn't have research, or doesn't do any research at all.
I mean, you could say the same kind of same thing about people like Review Tech. Review Tech just kind of putting out hot takes and stuff, or just running with like some random rumor he heard about that ends up not being true.
Oh shit! Goddamn it! What I really want to do, I want to do this eventually to piss somebody off. I'm gonna get his intro where he's going, skip it up and move out.
Skip it up and that up.
Yeah, he's used the same fucking intro for years.
It's like, no.
He thinks it's hilarious. It's like, okay, maybe it used to be funny. It's not funny anymore. Stop. Just do something else.
Stop doing it. 500 videos later. Skip it up and move out.
And apparently, like, it's always that same fucking picture, because apparently I think he said, like, that was a picture of his friend while he was drunk or something like that. He just kept using that picture.
Oh, God. Oh, I know a good lolcow in the cooking community before we get to the main channel.
Well, I think we should briefly... Oh, the channel. Yeah, okay.
No, before that. Jack Scaletti.
Yeah, cooking with Jack show.
cooking with Jack, the king of mayonnaise or the king of salmonella, whatever the fuck people call him.
I think there's a thread about him too.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like a whole thread dedicated to him being a sexist, misogynistic piece of shit who abuses his children, that goes through domestic abuse with his wife, that his wife fucking made him have a heart attack and he lost control of one of his arms.
I was choking him and screaming in his ears, "You don't ever touch a woman. You don't ever touch a woman." At the top of my voice, I was choking him so hard, his nose started to bleed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that too, but if you just watch his like cooking videos, he cooks some of the most disgusting, like, whatever abominations, I think I would say. Like, it's just horrible. Like, I think the most infamous one I could bring up is the Aunt Murda's cheese pasta or whatever the fuck it was.
No, it was like, I don't know what the
and he he used a bunch of Jello and like a whole tub of like Cool Whip and and like cheese, and I showed my friend and he was fucking disgusted. Like,
I have to look this. It was a party cheese salad.
Cheese salad.
Yes. Or another one that he did was he made pasta salad with 2 or 3 big ass scoops of mayonnaise.
Yeah, he uses a lot of mayonnaise and Cool Whip.
Girlfriend's right next to me.
He also,
I said the 2 or 3 scoops of mayonnaise. She looks like she's throwing up right now.
well, have you showed her his videos?
Mm.
And she would actually so if you show her that.
I think she would. I don't want to risk that at all.
But yeah, he's also made disgusting sandwiches where he uses meat.
Oh.
The meat he uses is actually like, I don't think it's cooked well enough. Like, it's undercooked. Like, because it's blood.
Yeah.
You can see the blood come out. And like, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I like my meat medium rare actually, but holy shit, like that's way too much. Like, it looks like it's he didn't cook it at all. Like, it's terrible.
Chaos. There's a difference between having your steak medium rare and having ground beef medium rare.
Oh, yeah, that's right. True. Yeah, he was using ground beef with that.
Like,
Yeah, I like my steak medium rare too, but the biggest offender is when he does ground beef medium rare or just rare.
It's fucking nasty, dude. Like, it's like if you just look at it, you know it's wrong. Like, you just like I don't know who in their right mind would eat that.
It's more wrong than people wanting their steak well done.
Ugh.
Like, I can rare, not my thing, but I understand why people want it. Medium rare, the best.
Exactly.
Medium, if I say medium rare,
medium's okay.
if I say I want a medium rare, but they give me medium, I'll eat it.
Right.
Medium well, you're kind of pushing my limits here.
Too dry.
But you give it well done, I will slap you with
Too
it.
dry. Too dry.
Well, if they want it well done, we'll ask them politely yet firmly to leave.
Yep. But yeah, cooking with Jack is he's a terrible person and he's also a terrible cook. That's pretty much all you need to know about him.
That's the only thing you have to know about him.
Okay, so I actually have a good question. Who's the worst cook? DSP or Cooking with Jack?
Or the Doctor.
I completely forgot about the Doctor.
He unintentionally became a Lolcow because he did the same thing as DSP with the camcorder, Let's Plays, and the shitty cooking. Honestly, okay, let's not put the Doctor in there because he's not really well known, so I'll throw him away. I think Jack Scaletti is worse than DSP when it comes to cooking.
I would have to agree just because, like, he's more, like, his whole channel is about him being a cook, and he's
Phil
terrible at it.
Yeah, well, Phil has, like, videos of him poorly cooking something. Like, okay, I'll give Jack one thing, he doesn't drop food on the floor and eats it.
I wouldn't put it past him, though. Like, I mean, considering the kind of shit he cooks.
Or he doesn't dump bacon grease down a toilet.
No. I mean,
I'll give
him a little bit of credit, and say at least he maybe knows how to properly, like, clean up afterwards. After cooking his abomination.
Yeah, Jack, I'll give it this. He actually knows how to maintain a kitchen. Phil doesn't, but can actually cook semi-okay. But now he gets his horsemaid to do it.
I have to wonder if he even does it. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, God. I want someone to make a parody of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, but called Mr. Brunel's son's horsemaid. I would pay to see that shit happen.
Yeah.
I think now we can actually move on to, like, the biggest offenders of Channel Awesome.
Channel Awesome actually has quite a few, but the only ones that I can really talk about is Spoonie and Linkara.
There's a third one who was actually associated with it. Angry Joe.
Yeah.
I would kind of say
Angry Joe.
he is a Lolcow because here's why I put Angry Joe as a Lolcow, because he will do something that no people would do. He dresses up in a female costume, gets his friends to dress up like fucking cheerleaders, not the male cheerleaders, the girl cheerleaders with the skirts and everything, and makes them almost expose their fucking junk to them. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Wasn't that also that BioShock Infinite review where he was dressed as a little girl or something?
I think he was either dressed up as Elizabeth or a little sister.
I think he was a little sister because he was like, he had like a lollipop and he was wearing a dress and like he had like.
I'm gonna find that real quick.
You'll probably find it actually. It's like, I think it's a thumbnail. Easy.
Angry Show BioShock. Just type that in.
I told you.
God.
It's like, okay, that stuff can be funny, but at a certain point it gets really cringy when you start like dressing like women and like, you know.
No, I think it's funny because I can just imagine like this girl walking around with a lollipop's like, "Hey there, lady." He just turns around, just a fucking fat Mexican with a mustache staring at you, going, "Si, senor."
It's just Piss Pedro.
As Placid Alejandro is now trans.
Oh god.
Or crossdresser, who cares?
Either one. I would say crossdresser.
Conspiracy theory, he's actually a crossdresser, and that's why his girlfriend probably left him.
But yeah, that's the thing you could really say about Angry Joe is like him just putting on weird, like dressing in weird costumes. And
throwing $7 at the camera saying Nintendo is to blame.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
because this was like going around.
Money. You want my fucking money.
Because that's all you people care about. I remember that was like during a time when Nintendo was like doing the copyright claims. They weren't striking channels; they were claiming shit.
Yeah,
which it's bad, but it's not like you're getting copyright strikes and losing your channel.
Yeah, I think he was overreacting just a little bit there.
Yeah. Or saying that he's going to take a vacation and take a break from making videos, but then like a day or so later, hey, new episode of Game of Thrones, let's talk about it.
I really don't keep up with Angry Joe. The most recent video I watched, the most recent video of his I watched was actually two videos. It was the Last of Us 2 review, and he also did a review for Mulan, the Mulan live action. He was pretty spot on with both of those videos, so it's like I'll have to give him that at least.
Okay, I have to look. Okay, he did one for Star Wars Squadrons. I have to see what he did. I think he did do a Ghost of Tsushima one too.
Oh, he definitely. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yep, he did, and he dressed up as a wannabe samurai.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Foolish samurai.
Angry Jose is a weeb, confirmed.
Okay, well, at least I'll give Angry Joe one thing. At least he doesn't fucking say that he's not a weeb, but plays weeb games. At least he actually will say, hey, I'll play anything. He'll play anything.
Yeah, I mean, he might be a hypocrite in other regards, but at least not in that one.
At least he stands true to his gaming beliefs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's talk about... Which one is more hilarious to talk about, Spoony or Linkara?
I would say Linkara, actually.
That's exactly what
because
I was
there's way more shit about Linkara. Like, way more... I mean, Spoony is also just kind of a fucking... I mean, with Linkara, like, I would argue Linkara has always been like a bit of a lolcow even before a lot of this stuff came out about him.
He's an incel.
Spoony, it's like he was a likable guy at one point, and then he just went into total insanity.
Yeah, I remember when Spoonie was actually not
and
that
that's the
bad.
thing too. I never really like watched Linkara. I actually watched Spoonie, so I think I'm gonna have maybe a little bit more to say about Spoonie.
Yeah.
Spoonie was like, I liked his videos. He did like really entertaining reviews of like the Final Fantasy games.
Mostly 8.
And,
that was the one he was most known for.
Yeah, and he talked about like really obscure movies and like kind of riffed on them.
Yeah, he was good at what he
was
did.
Entertaining, like he was like a likable personality, and he.
Well,
I don't know what I think it was like a combination of things that happened to him. Like I think he got shafted by that guy with the glasses or something, and he I think it was all because he made a tweet about like just to one of the members or something, and he was like, "I'll chain you up in my basement" or something like that.
It was before this person became a man. Hope Chapman, who is and kind of like the weeb of the channel, was like the otaku.
I thought that was
Jesse Otaku. That's what it was. Yeah, saying that he would chain her to the basement and do naughty things in said basement.
He said, "I'll love you my way."
That's what it was. And then Obscurus Lupa just came out of nowhere saying, "Oh, you said you were going to do naughty bad things with her." Oh, but yeah, I want to say the words, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because
and then of course Doug Walker got wind of it, and he pretty much got disowned, and Channel Awesome, I guess, like kicked him out. And that's when he started, I think, spiraling into insanity.
And then he was with someone named Scarlett, who ended up breaking up with him.
Yeah, I remember he did like a lot of videos with one of his girlfriends, and he started doing more and more like low effort stuff. He promised his fans a lot of these reviews he was going to do, but a lot of what he did was like all these random streams that were just like, he would all like barely talk or anything. It was just a lot of dead air and no reviews, of course.
Yeah, and then he had like a shitload of money, and now his Patreon like dipped immediately.
And now, if you've seen any recent pictures of him too, like he looks like a mess. Like he's kind of fat, and like his hair's all greasy and shit. Like he just looks like a total wreck. I mean, like I said with some of the other Lolcows, I kind of feel bad for him, but it's just like, dude, you know, it's you can only feel so bad for the people like this, you know, when it's like you feel like they're just kind of the cause of their own undoing, essentially.
And his Patreon, he's making $313 a month.
I mean, he would be making more if he was still doing reviews.
Yeah, if he was still doing reviews, that would be one thing, but it's like completely terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to look him up on maps.
I guess you could say like Spoonie's one of the exceptions. I guess with Angry Joe too. Like some of these people are, you know, their content I used to enjoy, and they just became fucking. Well, maybe not so much with Joe. Joe's kind of. Joe can do some cringy shit at times, but he still does some okay things. So I can't really knock him too much. But like people like Spoonie though, Spoonie just is the opposite. Where he used to do things that I enjoyed, and now it's just he's a fucking degenerate. Mess. Like just he's a mess.
Does he have like really long hair now?
Yeah.
He looks like Grandma Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
People also said he looks like Danzig.
Who?
Danzig. The guy.
Danzig?
He was like a musician from the 90s. I think he's a rock musician or something.
Danzig. Okay. Oh, Glenn Danzig?
I think so.
Oh, God, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I just saw a picture of him, too. 2 years ago. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck?
What?
Okay. I looked up the Wikipedia page for Danzig.
Mm-hmm.
He has a new album out. It came out this April. It's called Danzig Sings Elvis.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that dude was still making music. Holy shit.
He still is.
Jesus.
like original material is Black Laden Crown, and then he decides to
it's
do
like some of those grunge artists from like the 90s. They pretty much stopped, but like some of them still make music, surprisingly.
I'm gonna see if I can find the album for this fucking. There it is. Let's see. There it is.
Is it Danzig wearing like an Elvis outfit?
No, it looks worse. It looks like this. It's like, what the fuck? It looks like a wannabe Marilyn Manson cover with fucking. It looks like an old vinyl. That's what it looks like.
Maybe that's what he was going for.
But it looks so. It looks so bad. Like Jesus.
But yeah, so the other guy, fucking Lynn.
Let's move on to the funnier one. Let's talk the Fuda lover, Linkara.
The green M&M
Yeah.
lover.
Honestly, in the past, I had no idea who the fuck Linkara was. The only reason why I know about
Linkara, so I didn't know about him until I heard other people talk
Nostalgia
about
Critic.
it. Yeah, it's mostly because he did like comic book reviews, and I've never really been much of a comic book person. So,
I'm trying to think of like movies or reviews that Nostalgia Critic and Linkara did. I think it was like Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, a Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Oh, not Postal. It was Blood Rain and Alone in the Dark.
Oh, those movies were terrible.
Like, this was back when Nostalgia Critic was good.
Yeah. I'm guessing he got Linkara on because he's the comic book geek and he knows about like superhero stuff and.
But when they did reviews together, it was good. It was entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And now,
yeah, Linkara is like Linkara in some ways is a bit like Christian. I say that because Linkara also has his own comic that he made.
The Lightbringer.
The
The Lightbringer. It's like what? And he looks like fucking Green Lantern.
It's basically a shameless ripoff of like all these different superhero comics.
Oh, this woman is taken advantage of in the streets. I'm gonna fight back by running away.
Yeah, and he has the drawing skills of like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, and apparently people found out about his comic, made fun of him, so he made his own.
And it's ironic too because his whole channel is basically like talking about bad comics.
Mm-hmm. Atop the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And he actually made his own movie too.
Yeah, he did. I forgot about that movie because I think Doug Walker had like a cameo in it or something.
And Spoonie.
He was like Dr. Insano or whatever the fuck character that was.
Like another thing about Spoonie, he was also good as like both Linkara and Spoonie were good as side characters. Improv side characters.
Yeah. Yeah, like they, of course, when Doug did his movie, all of them were basically showed up as their original characters or whatever.
Yeah, and it's weird.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. But yeah, like I don't think I saw the Linkara movie, but yeah, like I know about all the weird shit he got into, like him like posting all his weird fetishes on like different forums.
It was mostly sex sites too.
Yeah, he had like a long history of doing that.
Like he, like whenever I saw his like fucking history, he liked watching trannies, fucking like not femboys, like transsexual men, like and cuckolding, and the green M&M.
I'd also like to remind you that Linkara considers himself a male feminist.
Yeah, because he dated a woman who was actually a man.
Oh,
he dated
shit. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah,
I forget who it was though.
I think it was Iron Liz. I think her name was Iron.
Yeah,
Liz.
that's who it was. Yeah, I dated, and apparently she came out and said that she didn't like he did. It's like I didn't feel the need to tell him I was a man, but he was okay with it.
It's like,
so you're gay.
No, Chaos. He's straight. He likes women. With dicks.
He likes femboys. Yeah, that's like, yeah, you're gay.
We'll give femboys a lot more credit. At least femboys actually look feminine, while Iron Liz or most transsexuals he's been with look like men. Okay.
True.
And I should know. I've seen a lot of guys that look like women, and it's like, Jesus Christ. It makes most pretty women look like shit.
Damn. Yeah, that's all I can really say about Linkara. Like, Linkara is basically just a sexual degenerate, and he's into weird shit. And he's also just he's just a cringy motherfucker. Like a lot of these other cows. He's just a cringy fucker. So one of the other things we should mention with Spoonie too is with Spoonie, both Spoonie and Angry Joe. Spoonie kind of made an ass of himself when he was went to like an E3 event, I think, with Angry Joe, where he was like, I think they showed off.
What was it?
I think it was they showed off XCOM.
Oh, it was the Bureau, XCOM, the Bureau, XCOM Declassified.
Yeah, and then he was screaming about like betrayal. And then
betrayed me.
And then Angry Joe looked like he was totally embarrassed.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna go over here, and then he just yelling, "This game sucks."
I kind of felt bad for Angry Joe at that moment because I'm just like, Spoonie's probably just like everybody's probably like looking at the guy like, and they're like, does he need his meds or something? Like, what's wrong with him?
Like, okay, I will say this: I will do shit like that, like in public. Like, if a game came out, I would scream to the top of my lungs, "Hey, this game is out again! Like, gods be saved!" But then, but I wouldn't do that in a quiet area.
Well, yeah, and also if it's technically like, you know, for your job too, because I mean that's their job, and if you're there like for your fucking job, like representing, you know, technically you're supposed to be like representing your company, and you're like doing that shit, then it's like kind of makes you look bad. It makes your company look bad too. So it's like that's not good.
There was a guy that Spoonie ruined.
Are you talking about Lord Cat?
Yes, Lord
Yeah,
Cat.
Lord Cat.
Because apparently he was going to interview Notch from Minecraft, and apparently they got wind of what Spoonie did and thought, "Oh, you're associated with him," even though he wasn't.
Yeah, they assumed that he was. They thought he was Spoonie, or that he was associated with Spoonie.
Which I felt like anyone that Spoonie had interacted with, I felt bad for them in the end. Because it's like, they could have had a lot fucking more, and Spoonie ruined it.
Yeah.
To pursue his own selfish needs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's all I can really say about the guy with the glasses people. Was there anybody else he had in mind?
Apparently there's a fan theory that Lindsay Ellis was pregnant with Spoonie's child.
Holy shit.
And she made a movie about abortions because of her own experience.
Yeah, Lindsay Ellis is the nostalgia chick. Yeah, she's a bit crazy. She's a bit fucking.
She wasn't bad. She wasn't that bad in the past, but then later on, as she got like away from that, she just became bad.
Yeah, because she's like a crazy feminist.
Yep, and then she got pulled over for being drunk and proceeded to break her glasses and kick the window of a patrol car.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she did.
Wow, that's a well put together, sane individual, I would say.
Yeah, and let's not forget. Hold on. Let's not forget. Let's not forget this fucking gem of a fucking visual. Here you
I
go.
know what you're talking about.
What am I talking about?
Wasn't there like a picture of her where she looks really fucked up or something? Yeah, that's right.
Put this on the screen.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful visual. But apparently people were talking about, big sausages, throw. I don't know why they do that.
That is an image I don't want. I don't.
You don't want to see, do you?
Nope.
Fine. You know what? I'll do you a favor. I will get rid of it for you. Yep, I will totally get rid of that for you.
Uh-huh.
Damn it! I was trying to get rid of it. I accidentally press edit.
But yeah, so I think that kind of covers like some of the lolcows we wanted to go over in this podcast.
So yeah, the main question: why do we need them?
Right. Well.
So, 3 ways I can describe them. So, number 1, so you can look at them and be glad that you're nothing like them.
Yep.
2, to like observe at a distance, to like examine them, see what traits people may have for like future psychology cases. And 3, just to fucking laugh at them.
Yeah, I would pretty much agree with all of that. That's pretty much my take on it. Like, I mean, they're important because you can just, look at them and laugh and feel better about yourself. And it's also just interesting to observe them. But I think we should also mention, like, you never want to obsess too much over the lolcow, and otherwise you become something known as an A-log, which is an A-log is somebody who's totally obsessed with a lolcow to the point of an unhealthy extent, and also to the point where it makes them look like a bit of a cow themselves because of how obsessive they are about it.
Yeah, just a moral of the story: don't do anything on the internet that will make you the laughing stock of the internet. Because it's like one thing to point and laugh at somebody, but then you don't want to get to the point where you're the one who's being laughed at. Like, you can either take it in stride or quit while you're ahead.
Yeah.
Best words to live by. Jesus. Yep. So that's the Lolcow saga.
Yep. Kind of a brief summary of it.
But okay, there's another question: are there any Lolcows that are still entertaining to watch? Like, you don't hate them. Like, other people might hate them, but you don't personally.
That's a good one. I feel like maybe DSP at times, like whenever something new is going on with him, I guess. Otherwise, he's just kind of boring because it's more like the same shit, different day. I mean, you could say the same thing about a lot of these other lolcows too.
Yeah, but most of these people like faded off into obscurity, while DSP, like the cockroach he is, keeps going.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, I will agree. DSP, like, there are times he'll make the stupidest decisions. Like, he won't improve his office. He won't use his money for financial gain. Yet he'll spend $40 on an alarm clock when his phone has one.
Yeah, he'll just spend on stuff he really doesn't need.
Yeah, frivolous things. Or how much do you spend on his trash can? Like $200 or something?
Yeah, he got a really expensive trash can that will only use specific trash bags, and the trash bags were really expensive, I think.
Or a $3,000 PC that was a lemon in the end.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, or let's not forget multiple TVs that he has only one for his office, one in the living room, which I don't think he ever goes down to watch. Multiple subscriptions for services he probably doesn't use anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple Fire Sticks or anything that can do the streaming apps and whatnot that he doesn't use. Consoles that he doesn't really use anymore.
Multiple statues too.
Statues.
I would also remind you. So I know a little bit about the statues he has. The statues he has, or at least the ones he showed off at his condo, are sideshow statues. Now, if you know anything about sideshow is like they have really nice statues, but they're really fucking expensive. I'm talking. Huh? It's sideshow statues, sideshow collectibles.
Okay, thank you. Because the first thing that pops up is sideshow Bob.
Their statues are upwards of thousands of dollars.
Wait, they have. Hold on. They have the Mandalorian child.
That one's the
How
less
much?
expensive.
No, it's life size.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
$375.
That's on the cheap side for them.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, that's fucking cheap.
In comparison to their other stuff, it's cheap.
Okay, I'm gonna look up Mandalorian just because why not? Star Wars collectibles.
Yeah,
The Mandalorian.
he has multiple.
223.
He has multiple sideshow statues. So if you think about how expensive sideshow statues are, he basically has wasted like thousands of dollars on those statues.
The only I kind of want to buy something from this, but at the
Well, they
same
have
time,
really nice statues. It's just that, like I said, they're really goddamn pricey.
you know what? More than what the fuck? Okay. Do you want to know what their most expensive statues are? And this is from Star Wars, by the way.
What?
A bronze Yoda statue for $8,500.
Holy shit.
A life-size figure of Darth Vader on pre-order for $8,900. And a life-size Boba Fett for about $8,500. With tax, will probably lead up to close to maybe $100 more.
You're gonna make me have a fucking heart attack to give him throwing those numbers at me. Holy
R2D2 life size, about $7,500.
Jesus. How much fucking disposable income does one have to buy this shit?
Depends. Do you have Donald Trump's money?
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the income level you need to be at.
Do you have a celebrity source of income? If so, please share us thy wisdom.
Yeah, really. I mean, to be fair, I think with some of them you can pay like in installments, but yeah,
you have to make payments on it like a fucking car.
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ. And then he breaks some of these fucking statues, fixes it poorly, and says, "It was already like that."
Yeah. Dude, if I broke one of those, I would be like, oh my god, I'm gonna go kill myself now.
Tears.
Yeah.
No, you would be in tears. You would be calling me up saying, "Dude, I need your help." It's like, what's wrong? My statue of Kylo Ren broke.
The best character.
Actually, no, scratch that. My Boba Fett statue broke. I would be like, what the fuck did you do? While laughing at you at the same time.
Oh, I would laugh at me too if that happened. Especially if I spent all that fucking money on it.
No, if you had all that money and you had more, you'd be like, I just could buy another one.
True. I'd be like, well, that was just a drop in the bucket.
That's rainy day fun well spent. Like, I kind of want to get some of their mugs on there, but they're like $20 a mug.
That's not bad.
Or I kind of want to get the child, but then again, I don't want to spend $400 on it.
Yeah.
But then again, Lego does the same thing. If you want the ship from Mandalorian, pay $140.
Yeah.
And build it yourself.
I think we were going to go over some of the Twitch thoughts.
Oh, yes, we were. Twitch thoughts. The one that comes to mind is Alinity.
Yeah, Alinity just has an army of simps that'll just throw money at her.
Yeah, and she abuses her cats. But the best thing about that is one of the cats had a fucking enough and bit her too. It bit her fucking arm.
Yeah. Well, she tried to kiss her cat after she had drank some vodka, and and then she threw her cat. So I think like you said, her cat's had enough, and she fucking the cat bit her and like clawed her, and so I guess you can tell the cat doesn't fucking like her because she's trying to go after her.
There was a video that someone made, like Alinity, like her cat was on a cat tree.
she was shaking the fucking cat tree, knocked the cat tree over, making the cat fall. Sat on her cat with her fucking whale ass.
Oh my god, dude! This is just pissing me off hearing about this. Like, I can't stand people that like.
I have cats.
To me, this is animal abuse. Like doing this shit, you know? It's
yeah. And apparently, that same video, it's like, what would happen if you do this? Results in death. Vodka results in death. Throwing your cat could potentially hurt your cat, but could result in death.
I'm surprised that didn't kill her cat, that she fucking did that with the vodka.
Wasn't there another thing that she did too? Oh, right. She fucking got herself a nip slip on Twitch, and they didn't do a jack shit to her.
She actually asked them to ban her, apparently.
I'm pressing X to doubt.
Yeah.
Please, Twitch, ban me. I showed my nipple. It was unintentional. It's like, no, it was pure intentional, bitch. The reason why you did it because your simp paid you a lot of money.
It just shows the double standards that Twitch has for, you know, people like that, where they'll just protect all the thoughts, and, you know, people who aren't Twitch thoughts, they'll just go after them and ban them for anything.
Or go after somebody who didn't even draw lewd art of a person, but drew random art of a woman and had a bust. Oh, that's sexual content. Bam.
Yeah, that's the funny part to me, is like, you'll have real women actually like exposing themselves, and then like somebody draws a woman. Oh, that's too far.
Yeah, it's like women flash Twitch lights flashing their tits. That's fine, but fucking people drawing art of a woman.
Nope.
Yeah,
that's just nope.
Yeah.
It's just. Yeah.
Or there's another one too. The one that came out and said, "If you're not going to give me $5, then you're very irresponsible."
I think that was Bad Bunny.
Yeah, then you're irresponsible with your money. You could be. You don't provide. I forgot what she fucking said. Shit.
She said something like.
People are giving you quality entertainment, and you're irresponsible with your money.
Quality entertainment. You just sitting there and like talking.
Give me money.
I deserve money. I need money. I need money because I exist. It's just give them money for existing. And like the thing that pisses me off about the Twitch thoughts too is like people will give these women like thousands of dollars, and like, you know, like, and it's just like, I have to wonder like what the thought process is there. Like, you just give this random woman you never met, like thousands of dollars. Like, what do you think she's gonna do? Is she gonna like suck your dick, or like what you're not getting anything out of this except just giving her fucking money.
I'm trying to figure. I don't think. Entitled Twitch streamer demands your money. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck it was.
The person you were talking
about. TwizFizz.
Oh. Because I know Bad Bunny did the exact same shit, where she was like, $5, like screaming fucking.
Oh, never mind. It wasn't her. This person was actually making fun of it.
Oh, okay.
Entitled Twitch streamer begs for your money. I think it was Bad Bunny.
Yeah, she's I'm pretty sure it was Bad Bunny.
People are giving you entertainment and you can't spend $5. You're financially irresponsible. It's like, no, bitch. We're not financially irresponsible. We have important shit to pay off. You're just giving content for free. Just be glad, like, to all these Twitch thoughts or anyone that's fucking saying that people don't give money, be grateful you have an audience.
It just shows how entitled some of these chicks are. They just think they just deserve this money.
It's like, drop the entitlement act. You're on the stage called Twitch. Perform for your audience. Be their monkey, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just don't understand Twitch thoughts. I don't anymore. I've lost respect.
It's the combination of simps and like women who just desperately want attention.
Oh, that's actually a good way to segue into this one. Kaos thoughts.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we're going to talk about Momo-kun, I think, right?
Well, I think she's most Kaos thoughts out there. At least they'll put effort, but there's two I want to talk about, and it's actually fucking hilarious because they correlate side by side, which would be Hobo Cunt and Midna Ash.
I don't know about the other one.
Midna Ash is a African American cosplayer who does this almost the same thing as Momo-kun, puts zero effort into her cosplays, and just makes everything about like bikinis or swimsuits, like very skimpy lingerie, because money.
And then Momo-kun got notoriety because she was she was somewhat chubby, and she did like the thick Samus or whatever it was.
It was Samus, and then later on she did the May.
Yeah. And then of course it came out that she was supposedly just not really putting much effort into her cosplay, and she basically would just basically copy people or something. I forget exactly what it was. Like
I think it was either she was copying people or using low quality stuff.
Low quality material.
Yeah, and then another one that she did, which was very fucked up, was she was trying to cosplay as Kana, the 8-year-old dragon from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Yeah, she tried to do like some flute cosplay.
Yeah, by saying that her thighs aren't innocent. I'm like, really? I think she's one of these people that will say, no, she's not 8, she's 800. Duh. She's just 800. That means that's more than 8 in human ages.
800-year-old dragon loli.
I don't like that. It's like, I understand the difference between fiction and reality, but for shit like that, you don't do that shit. It's ravioli. Do not lewd the dragon loli.
It's weird, but it's just like, my stance is, as long as you're not harming actual children, then it's like, whatever. It's a drawing. That's the way I see it. Some people just get, in my opinion, really autistic about that shit. They're just like, oh my god, it's child, you're jerking off to child. I'm like, no, it's not, you idiot. And not all lolis are children anyway. There's the idea of the legal loli, which is basically an adult that kind of resembles, like, looks younger than they actually are, which is example I could bring up. There's a character in like Steins Gate or Steins Gate Zero called I think it was like Maho or something. She basically is really small, short, but she's like 20 something, but she's like supposedly, I guess you would consider a legal loli.
Wait, who? Hold on.
I think her name was Maho.
You said Zero?
Yeah.
I have to look this up now. Maho, yeah. Yep, She's 21, and yet she looks like a little kid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or another example, I would say Usaki-chan would be a good example. She's 19 years old, but she looks like a little kid with tits.
Well, according to people who don't like her, and they're saying, like, oh yeah, she looks like a child.
It's mostly fucking fat SJW bitches.
That's the funny part.
It's like, look here, you cunts. Just because you don't have tits the size of watermelons and no man wants to get with you because you don't want to put down Twinkies, that's your problem.
Did you think it's jealousy too? Like they're jealous?
Yeah. Or entitlement, where it's like, why can't men go after someone like me? Oh, I don't know. Put down the KFC, then we'll talk.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but in terms of like stuff to like with Momo-kun, yeah, she basically, I think she's, I don't know if she still does cosplay, but I know that she's apparently opened like OnlyFans now. She's also like let herself go a lot.
Actually, from what I've seen, no, I don't think she does cosplays as much anymore because the majority of the conventions that do cosplays, they banned her from going.
Oh, really?
Because a lot of people came out and said that she was sexually assaulting
yeah,
them.
that's right. Okay.
She was always going around grabbing tits or grabbing asses.
She grabbed some dude's ass.
Yeah, and also threatened to ruin a photographer's career because he wouldn't have sex with her.
What the fuck?
And then claimed he did nice things to her and ruined his life and made his girlfriend break up with him.
What a piece of shit.
And also it also came to light she was incredibly racist.
Oh, really?
Got a megaphone, started spewing out racial or stereotypes of Asians or Chinese people, and was laughing about it.
Wow. Yeah.
Also, she's very. I wouldn't say condescending. Yeah, she's very condescending. She's very hypocritical. Take, for example, the Las Vegas shooting. She came out and said that, oh, why don't people shut up? You didn't go through this. My family lives in Las Vegas. Show some respect. And she made like a shitty superhero cosplay saying, oh, we're here for Las Vegas. Donate me money so I can go spend it on myself. I mean, go donate to charity for Las Vegas.
I mean, just because you live there, you weren't even fucking involved. You weren't even there. Like, what are you talking about?
She wasn't even there. Oh, but her family's there.
Oh, wow, okay. Just
yeah.
because you live in Las Vegas. So.
And then in the same year, Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, and many people died. Where was she? Trying to fuck a photographer. We don't know what happened. She didn't come out and said, we're here for Harvey. She showed no sympathy.
It's all just fake. I mean, it's all just... supposedly it's all just because so she can get money. I mean, yeah, but like I said, now she's opened up an OnlyFans account. She's
doing softcore porn.
Yeah. There is a thread on her too on the forums, and the things that I've seen. Holy shit! Good God! Like it's just nasty. Like it's She definitely needs to lose some fucking weight because
it looks like mashed up cottage cheese instead of skin.
Well, it's like LTG said, it's the cellulite. It's just so fucking
fat. Fucking cellulite. Put him down. What was it? Veins where they shouldn't really be a lot of veins. Fucking lipo scars. Claims she's working on a body positivity, yet you see lipo scars.
Another thing that's disgusting too is like some of these channels. I know this is kind of veering off topic, but there's some of these channels I was introduced to through people who just like will talk about them. These the mukbang shit. Like, you know, people mukbang is a Korean thing. The South Koreans started with where just eat a bunch of food.
No, don't get me started on mukbangs, because when I was with my ex-wife, she would always watch Stephanie Sue. I think that's what her fucking name was.
Yeah.
She would always do mukbangs while talking about true crime shit and making it into like a fucking joke.
Yeah, but okay.
Like, you know what happened to the body? They fucking found the head. And it's like, why are you making this into entertainment? It's not.
Yeah, there are two channels in particular that just fucking disgust me with the mukbang shit. Like, it's like Amberlynn Reed and Chantel Marie. They're both like two morbidly obese women, and like morbidly obese to the point where they're probably going to die soon. Like, it's really disgusting. Chantal is I don't know who's worse, because Chantal like does a lot of videos like where she will talk about like really personal shit. And she has no shame about it. Like, she'll talk about like her sexual encounters with like different guys, and it's like and you look at her too, and you're just like, I don't want to think about this, but she talks about like some of the most disgusting shit she's done with these guys. Like, what'd you say?
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
okay, whale wants to talk about, I had sex with this guy. I did it in the butt. Okay, no one wants to hear that, you fucking whale. Go back to Seymour.
She went into detail about it too. Like she said how she would be like, she got invited to like an orgy and all this weird shit. Yeah, and but yeah, one of the things I was gonna say too, like she's also dying. Like she's basically to the point where the doctors are like, you need to like change your diet or you are going to die.
Bitch, put down the bucket of chicken.
And after this happened, she went on to binge eating because she binge eats because she's depressed. So she goes and fucking binge eats fucking fast food. Yeah.
Honestly, that's no fucking excuse for someone that does mukbangs.
And I can tell too. She has jaundice because she has that like skin. Like her skin looks yellowish and stuff like that. That's when because jaundice, when you like are totally unhealthy, like you just have like yellowish skin. Like she kind of looks like that, and it's fucking nasty. Like I'm just like,
I remember this too because there's a story that I was listening to a podcast. Apparently, there's a guy that when he was in university or college, there was a guy who was his roommate, a big fat guy who would always get every night a 12-pack of Pepsi and an extra large pizza, and it got to the point where the guy got. So
he got what?
He got really sick because he would always eat pizza while drinking a 12-pack of Pepsi every night.
Yeah, it's definitely not healthy.
Yeah, and apparently it got to the point where the person that took in the guy and the fat ass the lady was a nurse and had to kick them both out.
I don't blame her.
No, because the guy was a good tenant to her, and apparently she felt guilty about the other guy.
Oh, wait, so she kicked him out because of the other guy. That's what you're saying.
Exactly, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's like people like that. It's like, oh, I don't understand mukbangs at all.
It's just nasty. Like I don't want to watch you like fill your like just eat a bunch of food. Like especially if you're morbidly obese too. Like it's just and like it's like those ASMR videos too because they like smack when they eat their fucking food. They can't chew with their mouth shut. It's fucking gross. Like I don't want to fucking watch that.
Like, yeah, it's like I could do an ASMR right now. It makes me
not want to eat food. Actually, like when I watch that shit, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, this is my ASMR. I soda. I just drank a soda. Shh.
Like, there's only one ASMR video that was great. It's a guitar ASMR video because you thought, hey, it's actually going to be an ASMR video, but it's out of fucking control.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll find the video for you.
Yeah, but I think we can probably just move on.
Move back to the cost.
Well, is there anything else you wanted to say about cost thoughts?
There is one. Minna Ash was one of them because she came out defending Momo-kun because people were mocking her. So us cosplayers have to stick together, and I'm like, no.
No, I mean, there's a certain point where it's like, yeah, if you're doing some shit, then you should be called out for it.
Yeah, I remember getting banned from her on her Twitter because she's like, I put a lot of effort into my cosplays, and all I responded was, what effort? And I got banned.
Damn. Well, I guess he's pretty sensitive. That's enough to set her off.
Another cos thought we could talk about, like, briefly, so we can end it, is Shell Hell Bunny.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The one that kind of has the cellulite ass.
Yeah.
Who dresses up as Cammy, and it's completely bad because she admits to being, she's married with kids, yet meanwhile will fuck and blow the cameraman.
I wonder how her husband feels about that.
He probably is sitting over there being cooked.
He's just jerking off in the corner.
I can just imagine him saying, "It's okay, honey. Do it for the money."
It's okay, honey. You're a strong, empowered woman.
You're stunning and brave, stunning and brave.
While he's drinking his Soylent.
Drinking his Soylent. Drinking his almond milk.
Hey, fuck off. I drink almond milk. it's not soy.
Well,
it's almond.
Well, it makes you a soy boy, doesn't it?
No, the fuck it doesn't.
Okay, almond milk makes you something else, but we won't say it.
You better not fucking say it.
But I know for a fact, Shell Hell Bunny I got banned from her for having an opinion different than hers.
What was that?
Remember when Street Fighter V released Yuri?
Because I don't keep up with Street Fighter.
It was apparently she had a costume where it was like a spyware costume, but they covered. I think it was like Street Fighter 4. I forget what it was, but they covered up the cleavage.
Yeah.
And she was bitching that Capcom is censoring these costumes. Fuck Capcom. Fuck censorship. And all I said was, hey, they're both not bad costumes. People can have a different opinion or a different preference than you. And she banned me.
Yeah. Yeah. People are such fucking snowflakes with that shit. It's like, you can't have an opinion different than my own.
Yep, so lesson learned. If you ever get into a debate with a Kaos thought, you will be banned or muted.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that all being said, we can probably move on to the recurring segment, which is, of course, what we like so far this week.
You go ahead. You can think of whatever you have.
I already have something in mind. So, as you guys know, I just recently got the box set for the Friday the 13th movies. So, I've pretty much been going through those movies in order. And I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest slasher fan, but I do like the Friday the 13th movies to some extent because, they're classics. And I do like certain things about them. I think Jason is a, classic horror icon in a way. But they're very some of the movies the further you get in the with watching the movies, the lazier and the more repetitive I feel like they get. So with the different kills, because I watched because I've been watching them back to back, so I started noticing certain things with Friday the 13th part what was it part 4, somebody gets thrown through a window in that. And then in part after that, part 5, The New Beginning, I think it was, somebody gets thrown through a fucking window. And then there's another scene in part 4 where the chick gets stabbed through a hammock. And then there's a scene in part 5 where somebody gets stabbed through a bed. And then there was another scene in part 3 where there's a barn, and I think there was a chainsaw involved in part 3. And then in part 5, guess what? Another barn. Somebody gets a chainsaw, and it just gets so fun. You start noticing this shit. You're just like, why have I've seen this already? And then in part 3, there was this because the reason Jason got his fucking hockey mask, because there's this fucking weird kid in part 3 that wore all these fucking Halloween costumes and tried to prank people and scare them, and he wore a hockey mask. And guess what? In part 5, I swear, I think it looking back on it, I'm like. Because he looks so much like that kid from part 3. I'm just thinking, I'm just like, is that the same actor? It looked like the same fucking kid, and he got killed because he would. Guess what? So he was a weird, creepy fat kid in part 3. There was a weird, creepy fat kid who wore Halloween masks and tried to scare people, and then in part 5, weird, creepy fat kid. He didn't wear masks, but he was he walked around eating chocolate bars, and he's going up to people, hey man, do you want a chocolate bar or something? And and then he annoyed somebody so much, he just fucking straight up murdered the kid. He's after he offered him a chocolate bar, he's like, fuck this kid. And he just fucking murdered him with an axe. But yeah, basically the gist of what I'm trying to say is it's it's an entertaining, like the movies are entertaining, but holy shit, they get so lazy with them, like they get so repetitive with certain things, and it just sticks out the more like if you like watch them like all in a row, and you're just like, wow, they really just got fucking lazy with some of this.
Wasn't the guy's name Shelley Finkelstein?
I have no idea what his name was.
The prankster.
In part 3.
Yep, that's it. He's noticeable for being the owner of Jason's original hockey mask.
Yeah.
And no, he's not in. That's his only role in Friday the 13th was Shelley in Friday the 13th Part 3, Kingdom of Badassdom, which he has an uncredited role as Shelley.
Mm. Yeah.
Shelley the Man in Death House, and then Friday the 13th, the game as Shelley, as DLC update.
Yeah, like in Part 5, I swear that guy, like, he's like the exact same fucking character. Like, he looks kind of like him, too, but I guess it's not the same actor, but he looks a lot like him. It's really weird.
What was it, A New Beginning?
New Beginning, yeah. I will say, like, some of the movies, I'm like, okay, they have some interesting ideas, but they never really go all the way with it. Like, okay, with New Beginning, okay, so with Part 4, they had this character called Tommy Jarvis, and they tried to, like, develop him. They tried to, because all the characters in the Friday the 13th movies are pretty, like, one-dimensional, but they tried to do something with Tommy Jarvis, because, like, at the end of Part 4, he murders Jason, and then in Part 5, it takes place, like, years later, and like he's an adult, like a young adult, and he has like PTSD. And I'm like, okay, so they're trying to do something with him, but they just kind of ditched his character after that movie, and they just never really went anywhere else with his character, which I was kind of disappointed with. I was like, wow, so you kind of had an opportunity to do something, and you're just like, no.
Yeah.
And then of course after that they bring Jason back as a fucking zombie.
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot, where it's like he's a man, but he's actually not a man. He's actually undead.
Yeah, Jason's a little bit confusing. Like, I just, like, I'm trying to think, because, like, I remember in Part 1, like, Jason is, like, a boy, and he drags that chick under the lake or whatever, and like, apparently he was dead. Like, he died as a child. But then in Part 2, he's a man. And I'm just like, so wait a minute. So, either he died as a child, or he wasn't actually dead, and he was just, like, hiding out in the woods as a hermit or something? I don't fucking know. It doesn't make any sense because they never explain it. They're just like, yeah, he's a man now. I'm just like, okay. So it's so fucking weird. Like, I'm just like, if you're trying to make sense of the lore of the fucking series, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it's so confusing because they just change the rules all the fucking time, and they just like retcon shit.
I just love how a lot of people, like, they want to remake slasher movies too, or just remake movies, and some of them
they already tried to do a remake of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was the 2009 one.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but that's going to be the last one because I'm watching them in order, so it's just going to be...
like a good boy that you are. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I hear people, and it's ridiculous because people are like, Jason Takes Manhattan is like the worst one. I haven't seen it, but I'm like, I already know that's not fucking true.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they said that they didn't. They thought that was the worst one. I completely disagree. I'm like, I think you people haven't seen Jason X. Jason X is the worst.
I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to look up the reception.
Jason Takes Manhattan had a 4 on IMDb.
I'm trying to find like the damn reception.
I think Jason X also had a 4.
Man, I wish I could have reception, like the actual scores for Friday the 13th. But
are you looking at Rotten Tomatoes?
No, I'm looking up on... Oh, here we go. Well, that's the series. Never mind.
Yeah.
List of films. Here we go. Dude.
I think Jason Takes Manhattan was Part 8.
No, I'll do this. I'll look at the first Friday the 13th.
That has a 7. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Friday the 13th. I wish they could actually show off the scores.
Well, they do.
Oh, fuck it. I'll just look it up on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought that would be easier.
What are you trying to look for?
Like scores. Like what?
Yeah, they do have the scores.
Here we go. Scores. The first Friday the 13th has a 64.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The sequel is a 27.
Whoa. What?
Part 3 is an 11.
Wow.
23 for 4.
It wasn't that bad. Holy shit.
5 was a 15. 6 was a 50.
Wait. What? How did we jump from a fucking... I don't get
Yeah, I know,
it.
right?
I'm so
Oh,
confused.
right. I don't know why, because apparently people like thought it was better than the other ones. I don't know.
I guess by a lot. Holy shit.
7 was a 35. Jason...
Was it the New Blood?
Jason Takes Manhattan is an 8.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The Final Friday, or Jason Goes to Hell, is a 22.
A 22?
Yep. 20 was Jason X.
Wait a minute. They thought... What? Get out. They think fucking Jason Takes Manhattan is worse than Jason. No. No, it's
Friday, Freddy versus Jason was a 41. And 26 for Friday the 13th, the remake.
I don't see how people could think Jason Takes Manhattan is worse than fucking Jason X.
Okay, now let's look at the user score.
Well, critics are retarded, so...
The user... That was the critic score. Let's look at the user score, which one they thought was worse. Let's see.
I mean, Jason X is on, like... You can't take any of it seriously. He's on a fucking spaceship.
Funny enough, Jason Takes Manhattan was a 27 by users and 24 for Part 9. So out of the entire franchise, in the fans' opinion, Part 9 is the worst.
Which one was Part 9?
Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
I can kind of see that. I haven't
Yep.
seen it, though, so I don't know. I think the ones
Same.
I haven't seen are, like, The New Blood, Final Friday, Jason Takes Manhattan, and the remake. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's just... I love how you're getting, like, very salty about this.
I just don't understand it, though, because I'm just, like... I'm baffled by this. I'm like, Jason X is a terrible movie. It's a terrible movie. It's worse than fucking, like... I mean... I just... Oh, I mean, now I really want to see Jason Takes Manhattan because apparently it's really fucking bad.
Even though, according to fans, it's not. The 9th one is.
Well, the 9th one too. Yeah. I mean, at least with the 9th one, it's like they're trying to do something different where he goes to hell instead of just having it be set on a fucking camp or a campsite again.
It gets really old. It's same shit, different day.
I mean, at least with A New Beginning, it was like it wasn't a campsite. It was like some place where they had like kids that needed help or something. So it was like a little bit different.
Yeah, it's like at least they were trying something different. But nope, even the game is bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friday the 13th is just kind of... I feel like it's pretty overrated in my opinion, just because it's always kind of been like an average to kind of mediocre franchise. Honestly, I always thought like Nightmare on Elm Street was a better franchise in my opinion.
Yeah,
because it's more creative, because there's more stuff you can do with Freddy, and he's actually kind of scary. Whereas Jason is just some dude with a hockey mask and kills people. With Freddy, it's like if you go to sleep, you're fucked. Like Freddy's gonna kill you in your dreams.
Also, wait, what? I'm looking at the Friday 13th game. It has mixed scores. GameSpot was when Polygon were most critical by giving it a 4. 4 stars for Game Revolution, but the game's not that good.
Yeah, I have the game, but I haven't played it.
Best Indie Game for the Golden Joystick Awards and IGN's Best of 2017 Awards for People's Choice was for best multiplayer. It's like, no, multiplayer sucked. If you got a match, it still sucked.
Oh, so you played it?
I've seen people play it. It was terrible.
Yeah. Anyways,
Then again,
what did you like this week?
The Mandalorian. That's
yeah, I think you told me you watched it.
Yeah, I finally got a chance to finish the whole thing because I watched the episode 3, stopped because I got too busy, but then I got Disney Plus again and decided to rewatch all of it because the new season's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Because like what I was saying, it didn't save Star Wars, but it did a good job.
Yeah, it's a good show.
It is.
I was genuinely surprised. I was like, wow, that's
yeah, it's a really good show. Like they got the cast for it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cast for it was well done. The music score is amazing. Jon Favreau did a great job.
I fucking liked the I remember people when it first came out, they're like, "Oh, the music's not Star Wars." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!"
It is. The music is not Star Wars. What, are you fucking gay?
It's supposed to be emulating a western. Yeah, so it sounds like a western, spaghetti western music, or
that's the idea.
Yeah.
The music was great. Like it had the.
I actually like it because it's kind of different. It's I don't want fucking every Star Wars thing to be some orchestral I don't want
John Williams in my Star Wars.
Williams doesn't need to be in fucking everything.
Yeah, and what was it? Ludwig Göransson did a really good job. It's with the guitars, it sounds just like the original music, just with a different swing on it. It's really good. And I'm going to say the last 2 episodes made me kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know why.
Yeah. The action in the show is great. The characters were interesting.
Action was great. Action was really well done. The only episode I did not like was the 5th one.
Which one was that again?
The Gunslinger. Where his ship got fucked up. He lands on a planet, which was Tatooine.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Is that the one with the sniper?
Yeah, it was. Okay. He tries to help out a rookie try to become a guild member.
Yeah,
and that doesn't turn out so well. It wasn't bad, but I just didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite episode.
Yeah, that one was kind of a mostly uneventful episode, I would say.
Yeah, and I was like, it kind of put me to sleep when I watched it because I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. And then I
I like how they showed the sand people.
Yeah, and how they communicate.
Yeah,
which is just sign language. I'm like, what?
I think honestly, one of my favorite episodes. Well, aside from maybe the last episode, was the episode with the where they were trying to rescue that guy who was imprisoned. And they had Bill Burr and some of these other characters.
Yeah, Bill Burr, Mark Boone Jr., who was in another show I watch called Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
it even has OSHA in it too from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I completely forgot that you said there was a Game of Thrones character or a Game of Thrones actor.
She was in it. Clancy Brown was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like the devil.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was that was a. But honestly, I think the best episode, besides the final one for me, I didn't care for episode 6. I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as the first episode.
And I think episode 3 was really good too, where they
he gets the child.
Yeah, he gets the child, and then all the other Mandalorians are fighting. I thought that was pretty good. They have fucking jetpacks.
I want to get one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to throw in one more. Crash 4 is a great game.
So I hear.
I have it, and it's great. It actually captures the essence of the original. However, I don't understand why they had to make one of the... I don't understand why they had to make one of the Bandicoots have a fat ass.
I'm not complaining. Yeah, anyways, I think we should probably go to the end question now, or the last recurring thing, the end question, which is Sony updating their trophy system. If we think it's an improvement for trophy hunting or an unnecessary update. Yeah, because I think they said they updated it to have what was it
instead of example, I'm going to use mine.
It's trophy scores.
Yeah. If you're level 26, you're immediately 390 now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Like,
What they did with it,
I think
is
I was
that
like level 14 before the update.
I think 14, 13, and then you went up to like 300.
That doesn't make any fucking sense, but I don't.
How they did it was they took there, instead of like having like the bronze trophy is like 50 points or whatever.
It counts
Each
for
trophy.
a lot more.
Now there's 3 different types of bronze. There's the low bronze, high, mid bronze, and high bronze. And the same thing with the other trophies except for platinum. Honestly, I think it's an unnecessary thing.
I'd have to agree, actually. Like, I was fine with how they were doing it. Like, I just don't... Like, to me, this is just kind of confusing, and I mean, I could understand it fine before. So I just don't know if they really needed to do this.
They didn't. They only did that because, you know, some people take their trophies seriously, like it's a life achievement.
Yeah, their trophies and their achievements, and they try to use it to flex on people, which I mean, it's like, I understand, like, why people find that appealing. I like to do that sometimes with certain games myself, where I want to platinum games, but if, like, you really, like, take a lot of fucking pride in it, like, to me, that's just kind of weird. Like, I mean, it's not really something you should, like, I mean, sure, take maybe some pride in it, but, like, having it as, like, some kind of, like you said, like a life achievement, it's like, that's kind of pathetic. It's like, like, you could have done better things, you know, to earn, like, something you did, it was productive, that you know, to earn something, you know, in your life that you could actually feel proud about. Trophies are just, it's like, that's something I would not, you know, have as like an achievement, like a life achievement or whatever the fuck, you know. It's like, it's just some video game shit, you know. I don't take it that seriously.
Yeah. Honestly, whenever I see trophies, I don't see them as like a way to say, hey, I'm going to find a way to beat this game. Oh yeah, bow down to me, peasants. I just look at it as a major time killer.
Yeah, that's all it really is. But some people, they just act like it's a big fucking deal, and I just don't understand that.
Honestly, I could also say that trophies are kind of necessary. Like, if you want to, like, 100% the game, then sure.
Yeah.
But it's pointless. It's an unnecessary thing. And they shouldn't have fucked with it.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
It's just another unnecessary update from Sony. That's I don't think they really needed to do that.
Because they're trying to optimize it for PS5. Because, like, hey, you can finally play Miles Morales and get the platinum, and now you're at level 100. Woo.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
And it kind of makes those, like, high numbers sort of meaningless, too, because, you know, you can just so easily get to that level. I mean, whereas before, it's like you really had to put a lot of effort in just to get to, like, I don't know, like level 15, 16 trophy score or something like that.
I liked it the way it was, where if you want to get to, like, level 27, you had to work for that level.
Yeah, exactly.
It's perfectly fine. It's essentially DSP mode. Make it easy.
Yeah. But I think I'll pretty much do it for this podcast. I will now put up, of course, my social links as usual, and I will now be showing Levy's.
Yep.
And yeah. So that'll pretty much do it. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We went on for quite a while, 2 almost fucking 3 goddamn hours.
Fuck.
Yeah. So the next podcast, I'm assuming, is probably going to be like one of the horror podcasts, so that'll be interesting.
Yep.
So yeah. Until next time, we will see you all later.
Hail Satan!